What's good, everybody out there? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Let's Talk Indie podcast, where we talk about everything related to independent entertainment. I'm your host, Devon Alexander, and today, man, I have the honor and the privilege to be interviewing a rising star. This brother is an IFBB professional bodybuilder, a fitness influencer, and the star of one of the hottest hit black cinema movies circulating the internet right now, called Southside Hero. So without further ado, let me introduce, man, this brother Devon Lewis into the studio. And man, let's we got some things we gotta talk about. Brody. Yeah. What's good with you, bro?
What's going on, y'all?
Man, look, first of all, bro, I just want to say thank you, bro. I appreciate you for jumping on my platform, man. You know, I know you're a busy brother. You got a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say it means a lot, man, to be able to sit down and dialogue with you.
Oh, man, ain't no thing, man. Anytime, man, for the people, man. I'm here.
Hell yeah, goddamn it. Now, look, check this out. There's two things you got to know before we get down to business, right? The first thing is, I am not a professional. I'm just a nigga on the internet who love to talk about independent films. I love to interview the actors, man. I love to have fun. And the second thing is, I know you a fitness dude. You got them yokes, you know what I'm saying? You real healthy, but you have to know this is a cognac-friendly platform. So please feel free to pull up or whatever it is that whatever it is you do, bro.
For sure, all day.
So check it, man. So I did a little bit of research on you, right? Like not too much, but before I get into the things that I actually researched about you, I am curious about, you know what I'm saying, like your story before the fitness, before the acting or whatnot. So man, where you actually from? Like, where did you grow up?
I'm born and raised here in Atlanta, Georgia. I was born at Grady Hospital. I grew up on the west side, man. Just a kid from the west side, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. So if I'm mistaken, I believe now I could have some things wrong. Like I do a little bit of research, but I know all sources ain't credible. Is it true that you were actually like overweight at one point in time and you was like, man, fuck it, I got to get my shit together? And you,
yeah, man,
basically, walk me through that, man.
Yeah, man. At one point in life, man, I kind of went through a phase where I decided that I was playing sports, I was drinking alcohol, I was hanging out late with some friends, the typical, young guy stuff,
Right.
and you never really pay attention to when you gain weight, you don't really see it, you know what I'm saying? To you,
Until
you're
it's
still
too
the same
late.
size, right?
Yeah.
It's too late. And I was working security, I was a bouncer, so it kind of fit. But I was in a relationship with a chick one time and we got into an argument and she was like, I bet when you go home and take your shirt off, I bet it has that pudge in it. You know what I'm saying?
Was she right?
So when I went home, you know what I'm saying, I took off the shirt and yeah, she was right. And, I had to, at that point, it kind of set me on a path to where I was like, let me get better, because, I always saw myself as something more than just being a big guy. I always wanted to be, an influence to people to kind of see, just because you have, setbacks or things that going on in your life, you can always pursue what you want long as you stay driven to it,
I feel that. Man, look, so as a person who, indulges into, the fitness world himself, I participated in a little bit of powerlifting, I was headed towards the bodybuilding get down, but I'm gonna be honest, you got to have a certain level of discipline to take that serious. Like my cousin, he's his name Big Rodney. He's a professional IFBB in the physique category.
Okay.
Where they do the swimming trunks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my fitness coach is Ashley Vargas, man. She's a she's a huge strength and conditioning coach for some of the strongest power lifters in the world. You feel what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I'm vaguely familiar with with the world or whatnot. How does an overweight dude, man, go to becoming an IFBB pro and having the physique? Because I've seen your pictures, bro. Like you done won some shit.
Yeah. To be honest, man, when I was 320 pounds,
Damn.
the big
How tall are you?
I'm 6'5".
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I was a defensive end, in my mind, I never really hit the gym. I was just a big guy, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm gonna let my talent kind of take me there.
Right.
And, then you start getting injury after injury, and eventually it's like something's got to give. So I was like, I got hurt. I remember one season I was playing arena league football and tore my PCL. And I never went to the gym. You know what I'm saying? I never really worked out. I went to the gym, but for what we thought was working out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So um one day something woke me up and was like, go get a job at GNC.
Mm.
And I was like, I have a tendency to obey what comes to me. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I lived in Oklahoma City. It was like 109 degrees.
I bet it was.
And man, look, you a city kid in the country, bro. And I walked. I didn't have a car, so I walked to
Damn.
GNC, and it was about an hour walk. And I was dedicated. I whatever drove me there made me go get it. You know what I'm saying? So I
That's
walked
that
in.
cardio right there.
That was enough. But man, when I tell you I walked in and I was sweating like a pig, bro, like
Mhm.
I was embarrassed, you know what I'm saying, to ask for a job right then. Cause I was like, you
Right.
know what? I might just want to just turn around and go back. And something was like, nah, keep walking. And I just kept
Hmm.
going. And when I walked in, you typically walk into a GNC, you don't see really any fit people. It's always the
Exactly.
average guy that works there.
Hmm.
And that's what I walked into, was the average guy. And I was like, hey, I'm just wondering if you guys are hiring. And he was like, yeah, hold on, let me get the manager. And so I'm standing there, bro, and it was like this light came out the back room, and it was just smoke and lights, and this big dude, came out walking like a trophy, bro. And I was like, yo, I need to look like that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, you're a big guy. And I was just like, yo, let me ask you, are y'all hiring? And me and him are talking. His name is Danny Skur. I'll never forget his name.
Hmm.
Because he truly gave me some motivation to get in shape. You know what I'm saying? Because at the time, I didn't have that motivation. I was injured. I was down on myself. You know what I mean? And all I was doing was eating and drinking. You know what I'm saying? So when I got into GNC, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
mean, but it's okay to indulge when you feel like
Right.
you've achieved something. But
Hmm.
I wasn't accomplishing anything. You know
I
what I'm
feel
saying?
you. No, I
Like,
know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
so when I got into GNC, I learned everything I could possibly learn about supplements, herbs, proteins, creatine, just everything
Hmm.
I could, because I was like, I'm dedicated to changing how I look. And I got in shape, and then finally got another opportunity to go back to the NFL.
Hmm.
And Cincinnati called, and I went to the training camp. And training camp is probably the scariest possible
I
thing
already know it because that's where
anybody,
they
you know
make
what
you or
I'm
break
saying?
you.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Because we get these big binders with plays in them. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And they hand you the playbook, and they're like, all right, learn the playbook. And you go to practice. And then they call your name. You know what I'm saying? You come down to the lobby, you bring your playbook. Either you walk out with it or you don't.
Damn.
And, you know, um, it was 2 weeks out from regular season, and I'm running a hoop drill,
Hmm.
tear my PCL.
Damn.
And that ended like every possible. I was about 25.
What year
And
was this?
this was 2009. 2009.
No, okay, because I got a homeboy named Carlos Singleton. He actually got called up to the Bengals, from Memphis, from the Memphis Tigers,
Yeah,
and
from Memphis Tigers.
yeah. Oh, you was up there with him?
I know.
I know you know the team. Yeah, I think he came. I think he got called up a couple years later than that. That's why I was
hmm
wondering what year. Hmm.
Yeah, so tore my PCL, went into depression. And it just started all over again. You know what I'm saying? It
Damn.
became that cycle where I start, stop.
Hmm.
And then eventually I just woke up and was like, all right, bro, the quitting got to stop. The quitting got to stop. Something's
That
got to give.
consistency is key. Yep.
And I just locked in, started getting in shape, and then, you go to the gym every day. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
worked at GNC. I wanted to be an example for what GNC stood for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you walk into GNC, you want to see a guy that is in shape, has
Exactly.
knowledge about the products,
Because his
and
physique gonna
really,
sell the product more than anything else.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
And people tend to trust you more when you look like you take care of yourself.
And you know what's so crazy about that, bro? And I know you know this. You will see some dudes that look like fucking Ronnie Coleman that don't know
Oh,
shit about nothing. Like
that's serious, and that's the truth. And
yeah.
it typically happens because we use our physiques to try to sell the point.
Mm-hmm.
And 9 times out of 10, it's like, for me, I'm inquisitive. So I want to know, what is it going to do for me?
You want to know
You
the
know what I'm
science
saying?
behind it.
I want to
Yeah.
know the science behind it because, for me, it's like, if I'm going to recommend this to somebody else, I need to know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I guinea pigged myself a lot. I was caffeine sensitive,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried myself on some pre-workout one time and broke out. I ain't broke out, never tried it again.
You know what I thought you was about to say? I thought you was about to say you tried some of that D-ball or some of that test or
Oh
some of
no, no,
that.
man. For me, I feel like, it has its benefits, the gear in the sport of
Mm-hmm.
bodybuilding. It's, if the grass is green, play ball. You know what I mean?
I'm terrified of it.
For me, I was, before I got into the sport
Mm-hmm.
itself, I was a natural competitor for the first. So what got me into bodybuilding, one day I woke up and I was just like, what am I going to the gym for? I'm like, why am I doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to the gym. I'm a big dude. I don't want to just be big for nothing. So what's the point?
Right.
And they always say confirmation comes in threes. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So I was at GNC working one day, and this guy walks in and he goes, "Man, are you a bodybuilder?" And I was like, "Nah, man. I don't see myself standing on stage in underwear, bro. No, I'm cool." You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, "No, I'm cool. Like, nah, we straight." And so he left it alone.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day, 2 days go by. Somebody else walks in. He was an IFBB pro. And he
Mm-hmm.
goes, "Man, you compete?" And I was like, "Nah, man." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "You the second person to say that to me." He was like, "Man, you a big dude."
Hell
You
yeah.
know, he was like, "You a big dude. You should give it a shot." And I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, all right. So I'm 26 now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
26, about to turn 27. So I'm like, I at this time, this is the second time, so I'm like, it's sitting in my head now. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So
Must be some type of validity to it. Yeah.
right. So I'm like, all right, cool. Second person to say it, whatever. About a week goes by, and a promoter for his bodybuilding show comes into GNC to hand out flyers. He looks at me, he goes, "Dang, dude, you should be in my bodybuilding competition."
Damn.
And I was just like, all right, man. Like,
You ain't
I was
trained
like,
or nothing. You straight natural at this point.
right. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, man. I was like, give me your information, so forth and so on. So we exchanged info.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman I was dating at the time, you know, um, I was a ball player. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So she only knew me as a ball player.
Exactly.
And when I presented it to her that, hey, I want to, she picked me up from work and I was like, hey, I want to, give bodybuilding a shot. And she looked me dead in my face, bro, and was like, for what? That's just stupid.
Damn.
And I was like, right then it made me, because I'm an Aquarius, bro. Like,
Okay.
if you tell me nah, I'm gonna do it
Got me
anyway.
fucked
You
up.
know what I'm saying? Like, right. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, cool. Since you feel that way,
I'm gonna show you.
I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So got ready, you know, um, in that period, even on the natural level, I always tell people, you can be harmed in that manner too, on the
Mhm.
natural realm, even on the, everybody think, well, if you take steroids, things are you're gonna die.
Right.
No, I was a natural competitor that almost died. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So
You can definitely
because
overdo it.
you overdo it, I
Yeah.
got into that militant mindset that I tend to get when I'm focused, I'm dedicated to this, what I got going on, and I ended up forcing toxins back into my liver, into my body,
Damn.
and my liver swelled up. You know what I'm saying? And I almost passed a week. If I hadn't had forced so much fluids like I did, bro, I would have passed away.
Damn.
And at that point, I kind of looked at myself and was like, bro, this is twice you almost had life altering situations,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? You're doing nothing. Um, you're just working at GNC. You're about to die for a bodybuilding competition, and you still haven't accomplished anything.
Damn. So you didn't
And
have a coach at the time. You was basically just working out on your own.
well, the gym I went to, there was a coach. We just gonna leave it at that. He was a coach.
I follow you.
And you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like people believe in you until you don't win.
Mm-hmm.
See what I mean? Like, and I
Yeah.
always feel like people only see the dollar sign when it comes to certain physiques. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yep.
already know me, I'm a selling image. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People see me be like, yo, I want to look like that. So what I gotta do?
Exactly.
And I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? With
Mm-hmm.
the understanding that that's what this is. But um the minute I placed second, he dropped me
From a second.
from a second place from my very first show. And I was confused, and I was just like, all right, cool. So at that moment I had to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I had to evolve and tap into more of a deeper part of myself, because I was like, well, if people are just gonna quit on me like that, I
Mm-hmm.
gotta trust in me. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So
That's
I prepped
blessing in
myself.
disguise.
So I prepped myself for two shows. Placed second in the second one I did. Placed first in the second one I did, and then second overall. And then the third show I did, I won the entire show.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Because I tapped into a different form. But it was an unhealthy form. You know what I'm saying?
I was
Like,
gonna ask you that too, man, because you 6'5", bro. Like
mhm,
that's tall. Like it's hard to get to to
to get
widen
the
your
growth
body at
mass.
that height.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I was doing at the time, like we all believed in this phase of dirty bulking. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh
You
yeah,
got
I'm gonna
that from
eat
Jay
all
Cutler,
the
didn't you?
Yeah, so and that's the funny thing. Like Jay Cutler came and visited our store, and this was well before I even gave bodybuilding a shot. You know what I'm saying? And
Damn.
he's standing in the store, and somebody walks in, and it was like, "Dude, you bodybuild?" And I was standing next to Jay Cutler, and I'm like, "Nah, man, the bodybuilder's right here." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was like, "Okay, this is really a sign that if I
Hell
really take
yeah.
this shit serious, I could be a problem." You know what I'm saying?
Most
So,
definitely. Cause what you got?
um,
What you got? 21s, 22s,
nah, man, they sitting on 23s right now. You know
23.
what I'm saying?
Okay.
Sitting on 23s right now,
All
you know.
right.
So, but man, just becoming a pro, it's an honor, man, because
Yeah.
I never saw myself taking bodybuilding serious. And when I was younger, it was my idea was to go to the Olympia.
I was gonna ask you, did you ever shoot for Olympia or the Arnold Classic, anything?
When I was, when I was young in the game, my first NPC show kind of shook me. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like I'm new to the game with bodybuilding. You know, I did the
Right.
natural realm. And then my very first NPC show, I went natural to my very first NPC show, and I was just like, these dudes is fucking huge.
Yeah.
I was like, they
300
fucking
pounds with
huge,
six packs is crazy, man.
right? And I was just like, there's no way that I'm gonna match this type of, size with the natural size that I have. And so, my coach that prepped me for that show, won't mention his name because he's a very honorable man, and I ain't
I
gonna do
got
him like that.
you.
But he he told me one time, he was like, hey, if you tap just a little bit, of tests, you'll be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I got scared. You know what I mean? I was just like, nah, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool. I don't want that problem.
Right.
Because in your mind you learn, when you're young, you hear, well, if you take steroids, your dick gonna shrink, and
All that shit,
you're gonna
yeah.
roid rage out and lose
Uh-huh.
people, kill people for taking this stuff. And I believed it. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So I stopped for 2 years, like completely just stopped
No working
bodybuilding.
out?
I worked out,
Oh no, bodybuilding. I got you.
but just stayed away from the sport, because I was like, if that's what it takes for me to be a professional, I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And like every time I got it in my mind that I was getting ready to do a show, I would back out.
Damn.
I would start preparing, then I'd back out, and then I'd be like, you know what? And so one day, I don't know, I just woke up and was like, you know what? I've been off for 2 years. Let me just fuck around and find out.
Yeah, why not? Because if I ain't
So
mistaken, I believe Phil Heath said that the proper way to do gear is you work out natural until you about, I want to say like 90 days to 6 months out from your show, and you
Mhm.
do it as like an icing on the top type of thing. Like you don't
Right.
use gear throughout the year all the time. You work out natural and then put it on as an icing on the
So
cake.
so it's like an 8 to 10 week thing. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you prep most of the year natural. You trust in the foods that you take in. And then it's just like it's like anything that anybody does. It's like if you have to go get blood work done,
Mm-hmm.
PC, if you have to go get PRP put in your shoulders, it's the same thing.
Right.
It's just frowned upon because it's like, oh well, they're using it to,
They
enhance themselves
making it
or
like a cheat code type of
like.
thing.
But my thing is if it's allowed, why not use it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't frown upon the bodybuilding world, period, because I was on both spectrums. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I can train me a natural athlete and they'll place like this if they're on stuff.
Right.
I can train somebody on stuff and then still get the results. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I had to do the research for myself and really understand like, okay, what's gonna work for me without putting me in harm.
Right.
And then you have to get a team of coaches that know about what's going on. And then they execute a plan for you, and then y'all move from there. It's about being able to trust people in the sport and knowing that they have your best interest without really, what I mean, putting you at risk. So,
Right. I got you.
in bodybuilding, it's just, it's you only got one life to live.
Right.
So what you gonna do with it is the question. You know what I
Hell
mean? So
yeah. You never played around with no powerlifting?
nah, man, like that. I just want to look strong. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
I just want to look strong, man. Because I'm gonna
Hey.
be honest, I got too many injuries to be out here trying to pull some heavy weight. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Hey, and look, speaking of looking strong, right? So you Samoan, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't know how it is on like the East Coast and the South for the Samoans, but I know I spent a lot of time on the West Coast. I know Samoans got a reputation for getting down. You know what I'm saying? So was that ever a thing with you growing up? Like, did they ever not test you because you were Samoan? Or they was like, let's see if he really about this Samoan Polynesian thing. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, we ain't never really had that problem. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
when I grew up, I was just considered black. You know what I'm saying? I was a black kid.
I
You
got
know
you.
what I'm
Okay.
saying? So, I grew up in Jonesboro, Georgia, South
Mm,
Clayton County, you know what I mean? So it's
right.
like all you gonna see is just a brother, you know what I mean? Like it ain't no I was a nerd. I was the kid that looked like Steve Urkel that got picked on, you know what I'm saying? So it was never I wasn't the popular kid, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day,
So basically, you a stereotype. You was the
yeah,
nerd in school and basically turned into a sex symbol when he got older. And now
I you
all the
know,
chicks from back in the day in your DM.
it happens to the best of us, man. But I always say, it's just how we look at it. I never let my looks take me anywhere else. I let my character do that. You know what I
I
mean?
feel that.
Like because at the end of the day, I tell people, looks go. Once you lose them, you still have to have your personality.
Exactly.
So I try to keep it light. I'm goofy when I have to be, and what I'm saying. Then any other time, I just keep it where it's at. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Well, let me ask you this, man. When did you catch the acting bug? You know what I'm saying? I would assume you probably maybe got into some modeling or something, but I'm just assuming on that. But yeah, when you catch the
Nah,
acting, because I watched
man.
a couple of your movies. We're gonna talk about that too.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna be honest, man. I was a kid that just watched a lot of TV, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
my parents would get on me all the time, be like, "I hope you know that schoolwork, like you know these movie lines." You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
then I would do voices, and I just like to entertain, man. I like to make people laugh. So when I was
Mm-hmm.
young, I used to tell a lot of stories to like my friends and stuff, and they would crack the hell up. So I was like, entertainment. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
good at. And then I was a class clown, because I wasn't the handsome, you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
attractive jock, you know what I'm saying? I was the nerd kid with the big Coke bottle glasses, and I was
Mm-hmm.
I was smart. So back then, being smart wasn't looked at as cool. It was looked at as,
Right.
oh, you're a nerd, and
Exactly.
push people, you know what I'm saying? So I had to find another avenue to try to match the energy of the cool kids because I was tired of being picked on. So I was like, you know what? I have to try to find a way to be funny or just be really friendly. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm tired of being bullied. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was on both spectrums of my life. You know what I mean? So,
Boy, I bet your class reunions be crazy, don't they?
you know, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't returned to any of them. I
Oh,
haven't
you
done one.
bullshitting.
But you know what? This year, I mean, well, whenever we have one coming up, because I'm gonna check with some of the classmates. I'm gonna see what's going on. I'm gonna have to
Man,
pop
go
in.
get your get back. What you talking about, man?
Man, because you know what's crazy is like all the guys that I went to school with, they DM me now like, bro, we watched your movie, and
Yeah.
you know, one of my boys, you know, I remember I was in school one time. I was in class with one of my homeboys, and I looked at him and I was like, bro, I'm gonna be an actor, dog. Like, just looked dead at his face, and I was dead serious. I was like, I'm gonna be an actor, bro. And he was like, all right, man, whatever you say, whatever you say.
Right.
And the very first time I got a role was on The Game, and it was right after my very first bodybuilding competition.
From the CW?
Yeah,
You was
it
on
was
that?
on. It was owned by Kelsey Grammer first, and Pooch Hall, Tia Mowry,
Yeah.
Jason, Brandy, what's her name? The wife, Jason Pitt's wife.
Oh, the white girl.
Yeah.
Damn. I know you're talking about. I
Uh,
forget her name though.
but so I was just a background talent. You know what I'm saying? Like I did a lot of background work for The Game, and that's when I was like, oh, I really like this. Like,
Damn.
you know, I really like this. And then so I started submitting for more roles.
Mm-hmm.
And once I sent photos, they responded really quickly. And it was
Yeah.
a lot of it was my bodybuilding photos. So I was on The
Mm-hmm.
Game, I was on Survivor's Remorse, I was on Being Mary
Hold
Jane.
on, whoa. Survivor Remorse is one of my favorite shows.
Yeah,
You on
yeah, yeah.
Survivor Remorse?
Yes, sir.
Mike Epps, Tashina
Yeah, Mike
Arnold,
Epps and
LeBron.
Sheena
Yeah.
Arnold. That's man. So the first time I met her, bro, Tashina Arnold, man, we was in crafting. And I'm standing there, and she walks in, and I swear to God, Everybody Hates Chris is one of my favorite shows, bro.
Yeah, damn right.
And so she walks in, and I was like, "Yo, I just saw you on TV," and she was like, "Creepy," and I was like, "Oh, come on, man." So,
Damn.
but she was so cool, and then I met Mike Epps. Come to find out, I ended up training one of his cousins, and we became really cool.
Oh,
Um,
damn.
So and then just being on Survivor's Remorse and just being on those different sets, I was like, you know what, this is really what I want to do. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, how can I tap into this more?
Right.
And then I got my shot on Tyler Perry, have and have nots, and then being and if loving you is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So I was
All this was before She-Hulk?
yes, way before
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So I remember we were standing in a cattle call. We were all dressed like police officers. And this was for If Loving You Is Wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I see Tyler Perry at the top of the hill, right?
Damn.
And he's coming down on the Segway. Now, what people don't know about Tyler, he's always scanning for talent.
Mm.
Always. So I'm the tallest one out of the whole crew, but I look like a police officer. So people
Hell
like he
yeah.
comes down and he rolls up and he was like, "Yo, you." And so I'm looking around like
Who
he
you
was like
talking to?
you, I need you in this scene right now. And there was it was like all the principals were in this scene with the big name people. And I'm like, yo, like cool, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to
Hell
all right,
yeah.
I get FaceTime, you know what I'm saying?
Right?
Like I'm not in the background no more. Like I'm about
Hell
to, you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So I get in the scene and it was amazing, like to see how all the principals like really interacted on set, how their dialogue flowed, the energy was real, it felt real, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, this is the world I can really be in.
Yeah.
And so after that, we go to eat, we go to break, and they pulled me to the side, and they were like, hey, Tyler wants to make you a featured extra as a cop on this show. And I was like, cool.
Hell yeah.
And I worked on that set for I think like 8 months.
Damn.
And then after that, I was in Allegiant, the movie. They got Divergent
I've
inserted in
heard. Yeah,
Allegiant,
I remember the movies.
so I was in that.
Were you
But
extra in there?
Yeah, I was an extra in that one. So I was working, but the problem is, and this is what I found out, um, I was really big. Like if they wanted to use me for anything else, I was just too big. And
Mm-hmm.
so that became an issue for me as an actor because I was like, damn, I'm 300. I'm walking around off season 315.
Man, you
You know what I'm
can't raise
saying?
by.
So I remember one scene I had camera time again, bro, in Allegiant. And I was like, cool, I'm in front of the camera. I'm in here. I'm making myself, known.
Mm-hmm.
And the scene was he comes running up the stairs, past me, and I'm walking down. So as soon as they call action, they call cut right away. And I
He
was
couldn't
like,
get past you.
they were like, bro, we can't see past your back. So they were like, they were like, all right, so take like 3 steps down the stairs. So they were like, all right, let's reset. And then they call action again. And then they call cut right away. And they was like, yo, we gonna have to move him over there because he's just too big. Like, and
Damn.
so I was just like, damn, like my one moment to really get seen in the movie, got taken away because of my size. And I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, so this is gonna become a problem. And for a while it did. You know what I'm saying? Me being too big, nobody could cast me. You know what I'm saying? They were like, yeah, if you lose a couple pounds, you know what I'm saying, we'll get it together. You know what I'm saying? We'll bring you in and, so forth and so on. But bodybuilding was at the staple at this point.
Mm.
And then I got injured. I got hurt.
Again.
I got hurt real bad. I had a subdural dislocation amputation.
God damn.
Whole foot came off in 2019. So it was like everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong. You know what I mean? So I was 4 weeks
Damn.
out from a bodybuilding competition and snapped my ankle off.
What the? How'd you do that?
I'm gonna say it's a trampoline park. Can't mention the name, but the trampoline park I went to, took my kids. I stepped on the trampoline, and the trampoline gave through, and
What?
took my foot off. And I
Bro, I'm
spent.
280, bro. Should I be worried?
I'm gonna be honest, man. At 280, don't get on no trampoline, my dude. I was 280 pounds when I stepped on it, and that's what happened.
That's all I need to know.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not worth. I put it like this: in the bodybuilding world, if you do anything fitness related, like all the like fun extracurriculars that you used to enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
you got to be real mindful of doing. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to
Damn.
remember our ligaments and our joints, they shrink. You know what I'm saying? To be able to
Mm-hmm.
build muscle. So if you're not working on fast twitch fibers all the time, those
Yep.
ligaments can tear very easy.
Damn.
So that was something I didn't know early on in my career of bodybuilding and training. You know what I mean? So um,
So
I
you
just
lost your
decided
whole foot?
no. So what ended up happening was when it snapped off, the sock kept it on. So I didn't break my Achilles, which was a good thing. So I ended up having to have surgery, emergency surgery.
Damn.
So I was on my way to nationals, canceled. Anything I had planned to do that year was done. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So I went through they gave me all the pain pills under the sun,
Mm-hmm.
went through my phase of being addicted to pain pills, you know what I'm saying? And then having to fight to get off of them
Yep.
and just being depressed. You know what I'm saying? So it went from football depression to now I'm in bodybuilding, I'm doing well again. Now I'm injured, and then so when I went to the orthopedic doctor, he was like, "You'll never bodybuild again."
Damn.
It broke me.
Let
Like
me
it broke me.
before you continue. I'm curious about something.
Hmm?
If not for that injury, do you think you'd have been able to peak and pee with the big Romneys and the Phil Heats of the world? You think you would have got the Olympia?
I think I would have made it. I think I would have made some waves, but I would have never standing next to them. I would have never took myself to that level just because I'm not a fan of overuse to
I
get
got
there. You know what I'm saying? Like
you.
I feel like less is more if I can trust in what, the path that I'm going. I feel like the injury set me on a path that I needed to go. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because in the beginning, I was reckless. You know what I'm saying? I was young, I was reckless. I was like, shit, I'm gonna take this, and this.
Hell yeah.
And it just wasn't the right time. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I'm a firm believer in right timing. And so, the injury just made me turn into somebody different. So it was no bodybuilding. Nobody was giving me any roles for acting. And I was just like, all right, I don't know what to do now.
Damn.
And yeah, man, I lost everything. You know what I
Damn,
mean?
that feel
So I
like it's
had to.
over with, like your life, like everything you worked hard for.
Yep. And but the only thing that I didn't stop when they told me, they were like, "Well, you'll never bodybuild again." In my head, I heard it, but my body didn't let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because even when I was injured, I was still rolling around the gym on a scooter.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, this is an addiction. You know what I mean? Like, I'm addicted.
Man, I know it.
And so after that injury, I think it was like a year, I competed in September 2020.
Mm.
And
After
that
they
was
told you you would never compete again.
after they told me I would never compete again, and I won.
Damn.
And the only thing the judges told me was, they was like, yo, had you came in more conditioned,
Mm-hmm.
you would have won the entire thing. You would have been going to your national show. But
Damn.
the only problem was I was still dealing with ankle pain and injury.
So you
So
really
I
couldn't get no cardio in like that.
couldn't do cardio. I couldn't do calf raises, so but I was still decent enough to place first in my class and place second overall yet again.
Bro, that is, whoever listening to this, don't glass over that. Like, bro, to be able to place that high without no calf raises and no serious cardio, like,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah,
that is immensely impressive. You know what I'm saying? Because I
yeah,
know
yeah.
what it take
Yeah, for
to
sure.
place in them competitions. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, and you're competing against the best of the best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These guys put in the same amount of work that we do, I do, and they probably eat just as strenuous as I do. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But on every level there's a new devil. You know what I mean? So I always have to learn, when you go up, you progress, and you got to be ready to take that next demon on.
Right.
And you know, 2020, that was the first show, and then I took 2 more years to prepare. Because I was like, if I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna go back right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew my injury was still holding me back, and I was just like, yeah, I can't. And so I continued to work, and then I got a coach, and it was a young guy named PJ,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy was like 24, and he used to drag me, dude. Like, it get like, when you try to do it yourself, you don't have the motivation. You're like, all right,
Absolutely.
man, I'm injured, but what can I do? And so I was
Mm-hmm.
babying myself a lot. And then I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I got to get a coach. You know what I'm saying? I got to
Mm-hmm.
get a coach, and he's gonna murder me. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what the hell he did.
Right.
Now this leads to how I got into She-Hulk.
Okay.
So after I did the show in 2020, me and PJ were training, and one day I was working at GNC, and I'm sitting in the parking lot just talking on the phone with one of my coworkers, and all of a sudden this call comes in. And you looking at your phone, you screening calls, and
Hell yeah.
I'm like, there's a 404 number. And, I don't know this number.
Because you in Oklahoma at the time, right?
No, I'm here in Atlanta at the
Oh, you
time
back in the
now.
A. Okay.
I'm back in the A now. This is about 2021. About 2021. Late
Okay.
2020. It was late 2020. So I'm sitting there and I'm just like, man. No, it was 2021. So I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I don't know if I should answer this. And someone was like, pick up the phone, dummy. So I answered it.
There we go again.
And I'm always, as I got older, I learned to listen to that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hell
all right,
yeah.
nah, don't do it. Or yeah, go ahead and say it. You know, so I answered it, and they were like, hey, this is such and such with Clover Casting. We want to know if you know, and I'm gonna tell the whole story because the world was pissed by this.
Damn.
Um, so they called and they were like, do you know any bodybuilder females? And I was like, yeah, I know a bunch of them. They were like,
Right.
all right, well, the director would like to meet you and the female that you choose to come and be a part of the show. And I was, or to meet the director, and I was like, all right, cool. So I called my homegirl that I was training named Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Now Michelle is was really a fit figure chick. So I was like, that was the only person I knew at the time. So I hit her up and I was like, yo, Marvel was looking for a female to be in this show. At the time, I didn't know it was Marvel. I said Clover Casting.
Mm.
So I called them back, And they were like, well, never mind about the lady. We just want you to come. And I was like, okay. All right,
Right.
cool. So I called her. I was like, well, they don't need you now. I don't know what's going on. So whatever. So I'm thinking the entire time I'm being casted for something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
So when I show up, they shoot a lot of the Marvel movies. They were at the time shooting down in Trillith,
I
which
heard
is in
about that.
Fayetteville, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
So I pull up to the gate, and they're doing COVID testing at the time, so they COVID testing us, and I'm getting paid for that, which is I'm grateful for because that was
Hell
extra
yeah.
pay. But it got cool as hell after that. Like I'm walking to the gate, they were like, "Oh, we've been waiting on you, Mr. Lewis." Woo, woo, woo. They pull up with a cart. I jump in the cart. They were like, "Well, we got to go to wardrobe first, and you're gonna meet and get your measurements, and then you're gonna go and we're gonna take you to your trailer." I'm like, "What?"
Damn, you got a trailer?
I was like, "I got a trailer?"
Come
Like,
on
what?
now.
So I'm like, I was like, nah, okay, cool. And by this time in my head, I'm freaking out. So I'm just playing it cool, and I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, man,
Hell
What I'm saying?
yeah.
So I get to wardrobe, and I'm meeting all the people, and I'm just like, this is a big production. Like at this time I still don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still have no clue. All I
You just know
knew,
it's a lot of shit going on around you.
right. So I'm standing in the room, and all of a sudden Dwayne walks in because they were filming Black Adam over on in a
Damn.
couple of studios down, right?
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, bet. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he looks at me and I'm looking at him, and he was like, "You're a big dude." And I was like, "Shit, you a big dude."
Hell
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? He was like, "Okay, all right, man," and shakes my hand, walks off. Now I'm over here like, yeah,
Come on
like,
now.
I'm not the
Best feeling
typical,
in the world, goddamn
right. I'm not the typical jabroni. You know what I'm saying? So we get wardrobe, and then they take me to the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm looking at the trailer, and it has two names on it. It has my name, and then it says Jennifer Walters at the bottom of it.
Mm.
And I'm just like, who the hell is Jennifer Walters? Like, am I
Right.
sharing? I was like, am I sharing? But it hadn't registered yet. So I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, they were like, well, go ahead into your trailer. We're gonna come back when the director wants to come and meet you. You're being paid for this, by the way. And I'm like, cool. Like,
You gotta
I'm
tell me twice.
here. I was like, how long? Yeah, however long y'all need me, I'm straight. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I go into the trailer. It's air conditioned. There's a bed in that mug, TV. I'm like, bro. I get on FaceTime. I'm calling everybody. Like, bro, look, I made it.
Hey, I'd have done the same thing.
I get on FaceTime. I call everybody, and the lady comes back. The AD comes back, and she was like,
Mhm.
hey, we got a couple questions for you. We just need to find out if are you allergic to anything? And I was like, nah. She was like, what about body paint? And I was like, nah, I'm pretty straight. And she goes, okay, will you be willing to shave your beard? Now, by this time, my joint was down here, bro.
Oh, you had a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, man. So I was like, nah. Like, I was like, it's hair, it'll grow back. They were like, well, we'll pay you for it. And will you cut your hair? And I was like, yeah. And they was like, well, we'll pay you extra for it. And I was like, look, cool. Just, I'm here. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
that
We
sound
here.
good.
Like, I was like, pay sound extra good, though.
Hell yeah.
So then she was like, all right, cool. I'll be back in a minute. Crafton's gonna come by, get your order and so forth. So I'm like, y'all got Crafton come to the boy trailer and shit. Cool. You know what I'm saying? So about an hour goes by, she comes back. She goes, hey, I got a few more questions for you. And I was like, okay. She was like, how do you feel about wearing a bra? I said,
You
I
got issues
don't.
now.
I was like, I don't. And then it hit me. I was like, Jennifer Walters. I said, is this? She was like, I'm sure you figured. I said, this is She-Hulk.
Damn.
And she was like, yeah. And I was like, y'all want me to play the body of She-Hulk? And they were like, yes.
Damn, bro.
And so I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even tripping then. Like, I was like, all right, because it's not every day, you know what I'm saying, you can get that opportunity. You know what I
This
mean?
is
Like,
Marvel, man. I get it,
this is,
bro.
and I was like, yo, I'm a Marvel character now. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is
Yeah.
cool. Man, I showed up on set at like freaking 8 a.m. They shaved me down and then they painted me, and that shit took like 4.5 hours.
Damn, for real?
4.5 hours, bro. And I was sitting there like, Jesus. I'm standing up the whole time. So
How long did it take to get off?
um, it took a while to get it off, bro. Like I think they used like Brillo pads to scrub that shit off because it hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Alcohol and Brillo pads. So then they got me into makeup. You know what I'm saying? So now they putting these eyelashes on me. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh God, here we go. I was like, here we go. There ain't no turning back. You know what I mean?
Nah,
So I was
you
like,
hear it
ain't no
now?
turning back. And then this lady comes in with this wig and she was like, all right. And I was like, oh no. Oh no. This is a whole
This
twelve
finna be
thousand
over
dollar
with.
$12,000 lace front, bro. They put on top of my head.
12,000?
$12,000 lace front, bro.
God
And I was
damn.
like, yo, women pay for this shit? Like, I'm walking around with 2 car notes on the top of my motherfucking head right now. Like,
Man, you walking around with a down payment for a house on the top of your head.
let me just hold this and sell it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Let me keep it when I leave. You know what I'm saying?
right. Man, I was trying to get off set green, bro. I swear, so many times. I was trying to get off. I was like, oh, don't trip. I'll wash it off when I get home. They was like, yeah, no.
Right.
I was trying to be the coolest dude and walking around like, yeah, I'm the
Hell
host.
yeah.
I'm the host. Oh, and then Mark Ruffalo walks in. And you know, he's the Hulk. You know what I'm saying? So when he walks in, I was like, and he looks at me, he goes, yo, that's the real Hulk right there. I don't even know why y'all CGI me. And I was
Damn.
like, dang, dude, put me on, Mark. Like, put me on, bro.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Talk that talk, Mark. You know
Come
what I'm
on
saying?
now.
Like, so we did the whole the experience was amazing, bro. Like, the people on the set was amazing. The whole time I'm talking, right? In makeup. I didn't know I was talking to the director. Like she was helping
What?
she was putting the wig on me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking and I was like, you know, when I was a kid, I said I wanted to be the Hulk. But now I'm the She-Hulk, so I should have been a little bit more specific. And she put that in the interview when she was talking with the magazine, and I was just like, "That's funny that she remembered that I said that."
Oh man,
And
that's
so
dope, man.
I was just like, "Yeah, I left an impression. I felt like I left enough of an impression with them that if it ever came to a time that they need to call me, they'll call me back." You know, so
Mm-hmm.
you know, people keep asking, "Is there going to be a She-Hulk too?" And I was like, you know, I couldn't even tell you. I think there were so many bad reviews that people didn't like She-Hulk, you know, but other people, it was so many mixed reviews though.
Yeah.
And you know, I appreciated some of the great comments
Hell yeah.
that people left on me playing the body of She-Hulk. And then of course you got the people that hated that was like, oh, you know, he looked like Princess Fiona. I know I'm not a good. I'm not. I know I don't make a good looking chick, so we ain't even got to
Right.
worry
God
about
damn
that. You know,
it.
so we ain't got to
Damn.
play like that's gonna be a thing. So,
Did the She-Hulk
um,
open up other doors for you?
man, you know, it landed me a movie. It landed me in a movie role called Xavier.
I seen it on
Um,
your IMDb.
right, and it's still in post production. I don't know what's going on with it, bro. So, but that was my very first role when I walked in for the audition. The director was in the back of the
Mm.
studio. So I'm sitting down with the other guys, like the other guys that was trying to audition. I ain't even auditioned, bro. Like he walked in, he was like, "That's my dude right there." Literally, that's all he said. And so I was just like, "Damn!" I felt bad because I was like, "Yo,
Right.
they ain't even get a chance." Like
Uh-huh.
he was like, "You look the part." He was like, "You a big dude." That was the features that they asked for: 6'5", big, muscular, and you know,
Did,
athletic type.
did you watch
And
my
so,
review of Southside Hero?
yes.
Before we get into it, but I was just gonna say, remember I kept saying it, you look the fucking part. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, this, I don't give a fuck who you would have replaced. he looked like this.
Yeah,
You see what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
yeah,
I get where that director coming from. We're
yeah.
gonna get into that though.
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna talk about that. But yeah, so it landed me. It opened up a couple more doors after that. So I don't know what's going on with that project. Haven't seen or heard anything, but it is what it
Mhm.
is. I've had other things pop up, and then came Nina Stacks.
Mm,
No, so that day I was shooting Xavier at CNC Studios in Morrow, Georgia,
okay.
and the owner of CNC Studios walks up to me. She was like, "Yo, Devon, Nina Stacks is here. You should go introduce yourself." And I was like, "All right, cool." She was like, she does a number of movies. She's got a bunch of them on Tubi, X, Y, and Z. And I was like, all right, cool. So
Real
I
good
walked
movies.
up and I was like, all right, cool. So I walked up to her and I was like, hey, is Nina Stacks here? Now, mind you, I'm a 6'5" big ass dude, right? Everybody in that room was like, why? And
You
I was
got smoke with
like,
this nigga.
they were like, why? And I was just like, well, I'm an actor, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to
Right.
talk to Nina, I want to introduce myself. And so she introduced herself to me. We laughed about it. She was like, yo, you're huge, you know what I'm saying? And so um after that, you know, she gave me a chance in a movie called Three. And that
I
was
seen
my
three.
very first speaking role. Um
You didn't have a
I
speaking
can
role in Xavier?
no, I was actually so what Xavier was, he was a psychopathic serial killer. He
Mm.
was it's a slasher film kind of it's
I
like
got
a
you.
slasher movie. He was kind of like a black Michael Myers, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But he had a lot of childhood trauma. His dad was an ex murderer, and he got watched his dad at the age of 10 get sentenced to death because he
Damn.
was murdered. He was a murderer. So what ended up happening was he ended up psychologically going crazy because at the young age of hearing his dad being put to death, he
Mm-hmm.
had demons that he was living with.
Mm.
So he became
Like a
more of
replica of his dad.
a replica, but worse than his
Damn.
dad. So I mean, bro, I was hyped. I was so hyped because I dove into the role. And what I tell people is, when you're doing a movie or if you're given a role, you have to do some type of research to it.
Hell yeah.
So I ask every director that I work for is like, yo, how do you want my portrayal of this character to be?
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, watch Jeffrey Dahmer.
Mm.
And I was like, okay. And so I turned on Dahmer at the time it was on Netflix. I watched the entire series that day.
Damn.
And so I was like, the only way I'm going to dive into a psychopathic serial killer mindset is if I listen to this soundtrack before I film my scene.
Damn.
And so I would literally watch the scene and then I would dive into that. But pulling myself out of that was even harder. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Because
what
I
I
was
was
like,
just gonna ask you. I was like, did you ever find yourself lost in that character?
you do tend to take some of those emotions home sometimes. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like, and it's one of those things where you got to look at yourself like, all right, bro, it's just a role.
Right. Snap
It's
the
just
fuck
a
out of it,
role.
nigga.
Snap the fuck out of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, not that I had the thoughts to want to kill people, but I still
Right.
had that energy of like, all right, I still got to be rough. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Stone cold hard. Yeah, I got you.
you're right. And so I had to learn to turn that switch off. And then after that, then Three came,
Mm-hmm.
and I've always been kind of typecasted. Like, oh, he a big dude. He can play either police, military, bouncer, a big
Yeah,
killer,
I can see that.
action, a body of something, but never
Uh-huh.
was really given the opportunity to have time in front of the camera with my voice. And I was just
Right.
like, Nina calls me and she was like, Devon, I got a role for you. And I really think you fit this character. So I'm gonna give you a shot. Never seen me act. Never
Damn.
heard, never seen a reel, never. She just knew I did She-Hulk. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I come on. She calls me. She was like, "I don't have Marvel money." I was like, "It ain't about that. I'm just honored to be a part of your work."
Right.
And um, I I struggled, bro. In Three, I
Really?
struggled. Man, first time reading the script. I felt like as we ran it a couple of times, I know I frustrated most of the cast some days because I just struggled over the lines.
That they ain't say nothing though.
No, I mean, well, what you don't see behind, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, bro, get your shit together, bro, because we trying to finish this shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I knew then it was like a homework assignment. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, okay, if I'm gonna be an actor, I gotta take this shit serious.
Yeah.
So after
That's
that
what
movie,
are you familiar with Michael James?
yes,
So I've interviewed him a couple times. Good
okay,
friend of mine. And that's what he said. He was like, a lot of times when it comes to like getting ready to get on set and act, he's like, a lot of times they ain't even about the talent. It's about
mhm,
being the most prepared. You know
that's
what I'm
it.
saying? When you take the time and you memorize them lines and like you say, get into character, like being prepared, like a lot of times can outshine the most talented people. Hmm.
Right, right. And that's the biggest thing. Like, I've always been a perfectionist. So it didn't matter what I put my hands on or what I put myself into. I'm always gonna give it 110,000%, bro.
Hmm.
Like I don't care if it's the last thing I have to do, I'm gonna give it everything I got. You know what I'm saying?
Hell
If it
yeah.
takes my breath out of me, I'm gonna give it that. You know what I mean? At
Damn right.
least hey, he put his motherfucking work in, you know what I
Man, he
mean?
left it all out there. Yeah.
So after during three, before we had to do a lot of the other scenes, I got an acting coach.
Mm.
And I was like, yo, I need help. I was like, because, there's certain scenes I got to do. I'm not prepared. I don't know how to, energy wise, where's my thought process need to be and this, that, and the third. It's different from being a lead role, not talking, to
Exactly.
being a supporting role, having lines.
Hmm.
And so I was just like, all right. And so after talking with her and doing our lines a couple of times, I was like, all right, I think I'm a little bit more prepared. And we breezed through it the rest of the way. But then came the second movie, which I did with Stacy Nino, Big Nino Productions. She has a movie that's supposed to drop sometime this year called The Cleanup.
Mm.
And after
I
three
ain't heard
came out, yeah, The Cleanup. It's gonna be a dope movie.
Okay.
So once three came out, she contacted me. She was like, "Yo, I want to bring you in on this movie," and I was just like, "Cool." The traction's starting to catch up now,
Yeah.
and so I did the cleanup, and then Nina brought me back for 12 Days of Christmas.
I ain't seen that.
Yeah, it's on Tubi, man. 12 Days of Christmas. I played the typical A male type, podcast relationship. We black love, liberation.
Oh
And
man, I'm going to go look at that tonight.
yeah, I was definitely but I played so many people after they watched it contacted me and was like, bro, if I didn't know you, I would beat your ass. Like,
No, you wasn't that nigga, was
yeah, they was
you?
like, bro, you played that role way too well. Like, dang, dude. And I was just like, I'm becoming more believable in these
Okay.
characters now because I'm like, oh, it's just like being somewhat you, but accented.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, you want me to be this? Like when Nina gives me roles, I'm like, she's like, you just be the Aquarius. And I'll be like, oh, cool. You know what I'm saying? So now I know what to do. You know what I'm saying? So when 12 Days of Christmas was done, I was like, all right, I feel more comfortable.
Hmm.
But then Nina, we had already talked like a year before. And she was telling me about Southside Hero. She was like, I think I want to cast you for it.
Yeah, let's talk about Southside Hero,
And
motherfucker.
yeah. So she was like, I think I want to cast you for it, but I didn't. Things were moving up forward with her on some other projects, so I
Hmm.
didn't, push the issue.
Right.
And then got the phone call that we got the green light to get ready to start filming. So I was like, cool. Give me what I need to know how you want this portrayed. So Nina gave me three movies to study, do my homework on. So it was Taken, Faster, and Walking Tall.
Walking tall. Taken.
Well, with the whole kidnapping of the kid
I,
situation, yeah,
I get it.
you're right. And then
I get it.
Faster kind of being, Dwayne Johnson getting out of prison in the
Yeah.
beginning. So it kind of gave that like small type of, energy to it. Um, but I felt like okay, I watched that. Now I can dive all three of them into one person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so with the baseball bat felt like walking tall.
No,
With,
remember
you know,
remember I said in the review I liked it, the baseball
yeah,
bat touch.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So the whole concept, you know, when she gave me the role and I got the script and I'm reading and I'm just like, yo, okay, cool. Now Nina was like, all right, I need you to be hood though. And I was like, I'm a I enunciate too many of my words for that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but I was like, if I can't be hood, I can try to give it the energy that it deserves because I know I'm not a hood nigga, you know what I'm saying? So it's not hard. It's hard for me to change my dialect of conversation to match that energy, but I can give you the energy that you need from the character.
You know what I feel like you should have did a lot more of. I
Mhm.
understand it's hard to change your dialect. It's hard to portray certain things. When you was in that hotel room, and I don't know if you seen that part where I said how you was grabbing that nigga around,
Yeah,
it should have been a lot more of that shit going on.
yeah, it should have been right. And
That's
me
what
and
like
Nina,
when
we
you ran up
talked
into the
about
trap
that.
house and you had and you hit the nigga with the bat and you had the
Right.
nigga on the couch, he had his hands up. You should
Yeah.
have whooped his ass too. Like it should have been a lot more your physical strength and aggression.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm
nigga, I'm
Right,
saying?
on the
right.
Yeah.
couch
And
and
we
I'm ready to
talked about
kill
that
some
in the,
dog.
you know, after this first one, we was like,
Speak,
Nina was
nigga.
like, man, we could have put a little bit more in
Look,
there.
I
And
ain't
we was
know the nigga
like,
15, man. They told me
yeah.
they was
And
17.
but
Man,
we
get to the
felt it
fucking point.
after we seen it. We was like, damn,
And I told
just a little bit more because it would have been like, okay, he's a big motherfucker. Like they trying the wrong nigga, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but I knew, you know, and there was probably more reasons, but then we started running on the idea there may be a part two circulating. So, you
Hey,
know,
let me pause you right there. I went back and looked at that review that I did of Southside Hero, and I realized that I didn't upload the last 30 minutes of the review.
oh no.
There's a whole 30 minutes that's missing on the end of it. Look, I hit up my editor, right? Oh, by the way, I just gotta say this. My editor is fucking obsessed with you. Like
Oh
she
man.
fucking loved. I'm talking when I told her that I was interviewing you, she out of town right now. She
Right,
was like,
right.
no, wait till I get back. And I'm like, she fucking loves you, bro. But anyway,
Well, if she watches this, tell her I say hello. You know what I'm saying? What's
she
up?
gonna faint when she hear you say that. Like, but I went back
Oh
and I
man.
looked at it on YouTube and I was like, damn, where the end of it at?
Oh
So
man.
if you go to my podcast Instagram page, there's actually a
Okay.
video on there that ain't on YouTube where I
Okay.
talk about the ending between you and Guns when y'all fight.
Yeah.
Because I talked about a possible part two and everything. Like I
Yeah.
talked
Yeah.
about you possibly having another kid you didn't know about. Like I talked about all, and I was like, where the fuck
Yeah.
is the rest of the video at?
Oh
Like,
man. Okay.
yeah, man.
Yeah. I gotta
I
see it.
hate
I
you didn't
gotta
get a
see it.
chance to see it, man.
Nah, man. I really wish I could. I'm gonna go check it out though.
Yeah.
But you know, so Nina had she called me after she had already had an idea for who she wanted for this role.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't the original pick, you know.
Oh damn.
I just looked to the part better, you know what I mean, because
I
of the
said
size
that.
and you said that.
Yeah.
And that, you know, for me, I'm always open to criticism because that's the only
Mm-hmm.
way I get better, you know what I mean? So what I did for this movie is I prepared. You know what I mean? I studied my lines. I made sure I came with the energy because I always felt like if you don't have the expression, you lack the energy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the movie doesn't feel believable. Like I watched some of my emotions after I watched the movie and I was like, oh yeah, I still feel that. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
Yeah.
and one of the crew members that was filming the movie, when I did the scene, he stopped after we yelled cut. He was like, you had me with chills, dude." Like, and I was like, "Okay, so I'm tapping in. Like
Yeah.
I'm really tapping into,
No,
finding
like
out."
even though I criticized the shit out of your character, I
Yeah,
never criticized your acting. Your
yeah,
acting
for
was on
sure.
point. The only thing
Yeah,
that the gripe I had was like, he ain't convincing me that he Ace Crown.
right,
I
right.
ain't
And
convinced that the nigga is the nigga I heard about. You know what I'm saying?
and that was, it was funny that you say that because I was in Walmart today.
Uh-huh.
And when I was in Walmart, this guy, I was walking through an aisle and I had crossed in front of this dude and he was pushing the buggy. And he was like, excuse me. And I was like, oh, no, no, excuse me. And I kept walking. And he was like, no, excuse me. And I turned around like, oh, shit. Like, we about to have problems right now. So I turned and looked, and he was like, "Hey, man, I love everything you do, man." He was like, "Everything you've been doing, bro. You setting up the tone for us, man." And he was like, "Your movie." He was like, "Bro, I give you 110% credit, bro." He was like, because, and this is coming from another black man, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, most of us don't lift each other up like that, you know what I
Yep,
mean? So
exactly.
just a random fellow, you know what I'm saying? He was like, "Man, you gave us a different look." He was like, even though, he was like, "Bro, I don't feel like it deserved to be on Tubi. That's just how I feel about it."
No, hey, the movie was dope as fuck. Like
Right.
Southside Hero was theater worthy, bro.
Man. And when we did it at the theater, we had technical difficulties, but watching it on the big screen,
Hmm.
it was just different. Like,
I
it
know it
looked
was.
it looked amazing, bro. And I was just like, I'm still in awe that, I got a movie out there, because
Dang.
even still, when people walk up to me, they be like, "Hey, man," I'll be like, "Oh," because I don't know what's going to be said. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, it happened to me a few times while I was at Walmart waiting on my oil to be changed, and people just like, "Bro, yo, you got us over here on the hood, bro. You one of us." I
Hell
was like,
yeah.
"Yo, you know what's up, man?" You know what I mean? So it's cool, to have that type of energy coming, back, especially from a movie that, we wanted to portray strong black males, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And show that there's still some type of, there's still heroes out there that have, that want to protect the women, protect our children, because we live in a time where that doesn't usually exist. You know what I
And if it
mean?
do
So,
exist, they don't portray it on in the media.
in the media and most of the movies, and what Nina wants to portray is strong black men.
Hmm.
Not to shame any of the other industries, but I don't want to be casted for a role that I'm not made for. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like you, Hollywood tends to make strong black men gay in the
Hmm.
industry, and there's never gonna be a dollar amount that's gonna make me, change who I am to just for a dollar, bro. Like, nah,
Exactly.
because at the end of the day, your morality is all you have.
Hmm.
And if you're willing to sell that for a dollar, bro, I'd rather stay where I'm at and keep grinding the way I'm grinding.
Shit, you ain't doing nothing wrong, bro. But I do gotta know something, bro. And I ask everybody this who done come across my platform,
For sure.
bro. You had a very intimate scene with Brittany Passion. How in the absolute fuck do you niggas keep this shit so professional, bro? Bro, she would be my girlfriend when we got done,
Dude,
whether she liked it or not. Man, cut the cameras off, bro. This is me and my wife now. You know what I'm saying?
you know,
Man, what do y'all go? I asked Michael James this, bro. I asked Akila Smith. I asked everybody, how in the fuck do y'all keep that shit so professional, bro?
I have to look at it as like any other job, shit where you eat. You know what I mean? Like, even when I was a store manager, I've hired some attractive women that work there. I just knew I had to
Mm-hmm.
still keep coming back to produce my paycheck. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we can you can be attracted, but just don't cross the line. You know what I
No,
mean?
no,
Like,
no, that ain't what I'm
and
asking. It's different from looking. Then
oh
you
yeah,
participated in the scene. I'm talking in real time. How do you
I
cut it
don't know,
off?
because the camera's right there, bro. It's just
I wouldn't
weird.
give a damn.
It's weird, man. It's to for all those that are out there. It like those scenes when people be like, "Oh, you enjoyed that." It's really not what you think. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, when you doing it, you like, okay, how can I not fuck this up? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I make it believable? Because one, what you don't know is you don't know how these people kiss.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this is your first time when you're in rehearsal. You're not rehearsing the kissing scenes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So they're done right on scene right then. You know what I'm saying? So now you're like, oh, I got to be intimate with this person. Is my breath
Right.
right? Like, I'm starting to sweat. Like, this ain't a good look. You know what I mean? So
Uh-huh.
it's just having to tap into the reminder that we're still making a movie. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, it's the project that has to be done, and you just put a lot of those thoughts to the backside and just do the scene and try to do it as quickly as humanly
Man,
possible.
look, I gotta take my hat off to y'all, bro. Like, I could look, and this is why, I try to say it throughout all my reviews. I don't give a fuck how much criticism I do. I'm gonna forever take my hat off to actors. For one, I can't do it. People think that I can act because I act in my skits online. That's just me having fun with my camera.
Right.
When it comes to a production and really trying to convince the audience that this is how you feel, like to make me forget I'm watching the movie, man, that's art. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I gotta take my hat off to y'all, bro, because man, we go together now. As soon as you say cut, I'm all right, baby. So what we doing later?
What we going to eat?
I'm married. To me, I know. Come on, like I'm emotional, bro. I'm not finna we rubbing and touching and kissing, man. We go together now. Nah, baby.
It's just like clocking in, clocking out, bro. It's the funniest thing, man. It's
better than me.
I remember the first time I was doing a movie. I was auditioning for this web series and I was a lead guy, but the role didn't fit me. Mm-hmm. And we're doing all these rehearsals in the director's house. Now all the people are sitting in the house on the couch. And I'm just like, oh, we got to do this makeout scene like we about to have sex and shit. Like in front of these folks.
Right.
I was like, all I can do is just do what I can, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So I was shaking like a leaf, bro. And I'm like, bro, I don't perform in front of people like
right.
Oh my.
Man, what the fuck do I do? This porn? What are we doing?
Right, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, in that moment, I knew, not even for the moment of just being in that scene, I was like, all right, physical gotta be on point. Because if you want me to take my clothes off, this is not gonna be one of them fuckeries. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah.
Not gonna go the way you think it is.
At least if I don't kiss you right, I look great doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, but look though. So one of the issues I had with Southside Hero, it was the fight between you and Guns at the end.
Right.
I felt like, and I said this in the review. I'm gonna send you that video when we get done. But I said in the review, bro. Y'all two were supposed to get all the way down. I looked at, and I'm talking when you put the gun down, he take his shirt off. First of all, how do y'all comp in size? Is he tall? I know he's big in the motherfucker, but is he up there too?
No, so Don is like 6'1".
He's shorter than me. Damn.
Yeah, so he's 6'1", and it's funny because he's a pro too. He's a pro men's physique competitor.
Yeah, he got the. But y'all look real comparable on the camera though.
It just Nina just knows her angles, bro. It just looks right.
Hey, she could have fooled me. She good at what she do.
It was like a good 4-inch difference between us, but just knowing that if we're shooting at the angles, it looks good.
Yeah.
But we had talked about that too. We was like, Nina sat down. I called Don. We was like, bro, we could have did like 10, at least 15 more seconds of worth of a fight, bro. I was like,
because you leaving us wondering, bro. Because okay, he get the first one off. You start laughing. Oh, we got a squabble.
Right, man.
It go in. We got a squabble, boy. Then he bagged the prison, made you soft. You look at back, spit the blood out, and laugh. And then what? Come on, baby.
Man,
police come out. You get.
I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't
how they supposed to go.
I'm gonna be honest, man. So when we rehearsed the scene, there was gonna be more, but I dislocated my shoulder in the scene where he needs me. So okay, we rehearsed for like 2 hours, right? We was money golden. So we get into the scene. Me and Don, we square up, and I'm like, okay, we know the beat. We know what we got. You know what I'm saying? So there's a mat on the ground. So I was like, when you need me, just make sure you angle me to the mat. So mind you, the first swing was a punch. Motherfucker punched me dead in the mouth.
Hey, hold up, bro. I'm gonna tell you why I'm so happy about that, bro. Because there's too many fake punches in these Tubi movies. Take the lick, goddammit. Punch me. Come on, let's do it.
Punch me dead in the mouth, and I'm like, bro, so I fall back. And that scene where I spit blood, that was real blood, bro. He punched me in the mouth. Yeah, that wasn't even no, no. That was, I had to smile that shit off. I was like, bro. And Nina goes, oh, I'm keeping that.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool. So then we run the scene back. By this time, he goes to swing. I'm like, come on, bro, wait. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, don't hit me again. So
He
I'm
don't know
now
how
I
to
done
act.
psyched
He trying to hit you for real.
now I done psyched myself out. So I was like, all right, I
Mhm.
got to get back tapped in and get locked back into the character. So I did. And then so we breezed through the punch and he hits me with a knee. Well, the knee sends me flying over the pad, landing on my shoulder, the shoulder comes out.
Damn.
But we still filmed the scene. I made it all the way through the scene. So the 2 punches, I had to end it after that because I was like, my shoulder won't let me do anything. I literally like couldn't pick it up to rehearse, like to go through the scene again. Like, so we shot it like 6, 7, 8 times,
Damn.
and I fell on the ground maybe 15 different times. You know what I'm saying? So there was
Damn.
only so much, a six
This
foot
is the
five,
tape.
250-pound dude gonna be able to do,
Hell yeah.
But it was like a lot of the blooper reels. It shows us being Don getting knocked on the ground because he got one too. I cold cocked him back. You know what
Bro,
I'm saying?
y'all gotta post him. I want to see it.
I'm waiting on the footage myself. So,
Hell
but
yeah.
but yeah, man. A lot of the times, for me, is like I always want to be able to leave something on set. You know what I'm saying? Leave people with
Yeah.
a memory. Because like any movie I do, man, is for some strange reason when they bring the boom mic in, I always pull the Temptations out. You know what I'm saying? Like the mic be over my head, I'm like, it was the 3rd of September. You know what I'm saying? Just because, for me it's like loosen, like everybody gotta get loose. We gotta be in this scene, loosen
Bro, you
up.
seem like a naturally funny type dude, bro. You never thought about getting into comedy?
Man, I'm funny by accident, bro. Like this shit. Like I honestly, I did some stand up before, and it was an eye opener, right? Because I thought it was easy. Oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
funny. I can get up there and I can make people laugh.
Right.
I can, naturally. But
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have your material right, it just doesn't flow well. You know what I'm saying? So I started paying attention to other comedians. So
Mm-hmm.
now I feel like when I go back, I have myself right now. You know
You'll
what I'm
be
saying?
ready.
So
Yeah.
what I was gonna do is submit to Atlanta Comedy Club
Mm.
and go do a stand up there because they have open mic night too, and they don't give you the 4-minute window; they give you an 8-minute set.
Mm.
So I can do two parts of my jokes and stuff like that, and have like two comedy, two skit comedy because I can catch you in with one and lead it into the next one. But
Mm-hmm.
my very first time it was only 4 minutes. Then I'm trying to fit all my jokes into this 4 minutes. I ran out of
Right.
time. But
Damn.
for the 4 minutes that I got, I felt like people they laughed. I got a lot of laughs, and I was just like, oh, I got to do it again, but I need to
Mm-hmm.
come right. So like I said before, it's like anything I ever do, I got to be the best.
Hell
So,
yeah.
I just tell people I'm funny because the shit I say is real. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Look, that's where comedy come from. A place of realness, goddamn.
it's real. Like I talk about the trauma and I laugh about it, bro, because it's just it's gotta be light at some point in the life that we live in. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's stressful right now. It's only been 100 days.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So we
Yeah.
gotta look at it. You know what I mean? So but yeah, man, the whole
What about that?
experience.
You got something coming out on Netflix, right?
Oh man, so I'm working on some stuff. I have a fitness project that I've been kind of working with. I've been in secret talks with Netflix, but
Okay.
uh some things I'm trying to do as far as fitness related, just telling the story.
Mm-hmm.
Basically how I got started, where what led me to this place of, just resilience because at the end of the day, we all live in the world of either you do or you don't.
Mm.
Either you try or you stop. But I'm the type of person when I see people in the morning at the gym, I'm like, yo, I see you made it in. Well, I'm trying. No, no, no. You're here. You're doing it.
Facts.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because at the end of the day, we got to learn to take out can't and try out of our dialect throughout the day.
Yeah.
Because we can try whatever we want, but if you're already doing it, there's nothing about it that you're trying.
No, you're doing it.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I tell people all the time, you didn't try to get a job. You went and did it.
When they got a job, yep.
You didn't try to have a family. You made that happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, so stop living in the thought process of, well, you know, I'm trying. So what made me get to this mindset, like I'm reading a book called Project 369.
Mm-hmm.
Project 369 is about evolution of consciousness.
Dope.
We live in a world that we were told everything we thought was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, our thought process as children was the right thought process.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I've listened to that concept before. Yeah, I like that. Mm-hmm.
So now I have to, when I was reading it, it put me in the mindset, and there's still some things that I'm working through in the project that is improving my life. And I mean, improving it for the better, because what I manifest, it happens. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bro, I'm just going to keep putting it out there. I'm just going to keep putting it out there, and it's going to keep happening. And so a lot of my clients, they're my athletes, but they become friends now.
Right.
Because I'm like, yo, the people around me, if you're not evolving, you can't be around me.
Yeah, absolutely. If it ain't about growth, you can count me out.
Evolution is life, bro. So if we're not evolving, what are we wasting our time for? You know what I mean? So I told them to start thinking and speaking in I am.
Yeah.
And not me. You know what I'm saying? People talk from a me standpoint versus the I am standpoint, because I am is the creation of you.
Yeah.
So when you speak, you have to believe what you're speaking and call it forth. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely. Words are vibration. Words are frequency. Like words are part of the universe. Like you can manifest with your words because sound is vibration. Like absolutely, I know exactly where you're coming from.
Exactly.
Bro, my nickname is the buff ass nerd. Like straight up. Like
so they look then people not here though. You know what I'm saying? They don't tap into that third eye and really understand that evolution comes from the throat chakra. It comes from the mind chakra. It's just different levels that we have to really believe. So prime example. One of the guys at the gym that I talk to frequently. We were sitting in the gym, and I was like, man, you ever notice people leave stuff in the gym all the time? Like they socks, clothes, underwear, drawers, shit. And I'm like, what's that about? And then the guy tells me, he was like, yeah, but I don't ever find no money. And I was like, shit. I was like, I find quarters every day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, but quarters make dollars, bro.
Yeah.
And so we ended that conversation right there. I walked to the back of the gym. On my walk to the back of the gym, I found a quarter.
Damn.
Walked up to him. I was like, bro, I remember what I told you. I said, here's a quarter. I said, now I'm going to find $1. 2 days later, found that $1.
Come on now.
Walked up to him. I was like, bro, that $1 going to turn into a $20 bill. Watch me. Just a day ago, bro, I got out of my car walking into the house, looked on the ground. There was a $20 bill. Tell me manifestation ain't real. You see what I'm saying?
You stop playing, goddammit.
When I got to 20, I was like, this is going to turn into 200. When I get that 200, I'm gonna turn that into 2,000. Watch what I'm saying.
and I'm gonna need to borrow 20 when you get it.
So we can make sure you turn that into 2,000. You know?
Goddamn right.
But yeah, man. So for me, it's just everything I put myself into is just to be the best, man. So that role, Southside Hero. Nina trusted me. You know what I'm saying, with a lot, and she trusted me to do the stunt coordination for a lot of the scenes. Now, the scenes where I got jumped on the front porch, I took a lot of those hits for real. I got beat. I think so. I slid across that front porch like 23 times.
Damn. That's how many times it take to do them stunt scenes?
So what you got to remember is they get in every angle they could possibly get for best capture. So when you get up, reset, do it again. Reset, do it again. By like the 10th time of me hitting the porch, I was like, bro, my hip. And she was like, well, we can cut. I was like, no. We making a movie.
Right.
Let's do this. If I'll heal. You know what I'm saying? Let's just do this. Bro, my hip was hurting for like a week and a half. And mind you, I was still prepping for a bodybuilding competition. So, and I was getting ready for my first national show. And no, It wasn't my first national show. This is my second national show. This is the show I turned pro in July.
Okay.
So we had just finished with Southside Hero, and then July was my pro debut. So it was like Southside Hero drop, boom, movie going big. Then
Oh,
my pro debut,
you had a lot going on.
man, right behind it. So like if you watch Southside Hero, like if you really go back and watch it, you'll see me get in shape as the movie was transitioning.
I
So
got you.
you know what I'm saying? Because I was heavier in the beginning of the movie.
I'm gonna tell you what I did notice. You know, like I said, as a person that's vaguely familiar with the fitness world, like
Hmm.
when you had your shirt off and stuff, I did think to myself, that ain't natural walking around physique right there. You know what I'm saying? That ain't natural walk. Like this nigga is shredded. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
he competition ready. You know, like
yes,
don't get
sir.
me wrong, I do know that is possible because I got a cousin
Mhm.
named Punkin. He did 19 in the pen, and this
Right,
nigga ain't hit a gym in 6 months, and this nigga got obliques.
right.
I'm like, I don't know how you
Yeah,
do it. So I do know it is possible,
yeah,
but that's a rarity though. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. Like I was grateful for the fact that she saw that okay, it's not just a big dude. She looked at me the first time. She was like, Devon, I thought you was gonna be an action hero. Like I thought you was gonna be like,
Bro,
I'm
you
gonna
look like
save the
Black Adam,
day.
bro.
Right, right. And it wasn't that. Like she was like, you really took your work and did your homework. And and I
Mhm.
appreciate you for that. And I just tell her every time, man, anytime you need me, just call me. You know
Hell
what I mean?
yeah,
So
man.
she was like, bro, I think after this movie you're gonna be gone. And I was like, it may be, but until that time happens, I'm still here when you need me. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I mean, I'm loyal to the game, and I'm always gonna be, dedicated to just treating people the way they need to be treated, especially when it comes
Mhm.
to projects. Creativity is what life is, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's too many of us that sit still on our creativity instead of actually using it.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think I did like a TikTok video and I was like, the richest place in the world is the cemetery.
Mm.
That's where people go to die and that's where dreams go to rest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Man,
So,
that's deep.
for me, it's like either to live for something or die for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And, I hate it sometimes, but I don't because it's like
Right.
I'm busy, 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 busy. I know I need a break, but I got to do this and then I got to do that because time waits for nobody.
Waits for nobody.
You know what I'm saying? If you notice, time is moving quick as hell.
I say it every day, bro. The older we get, the quicker time move.
It's like I wake up and it's already 2 p.m. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man, for real.
so,
And
for me, my day.
I did 8 in the penitentiary, bro. I've been to the pen
Okay.
twice. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So time matters to me. You feel what I'm saying? That's why even when it comes to women, I'm always so honest, and not just because I'm a good dude, because I done been a piece of shit motherfucker before too. But
For
it's
sure.
mostly because of how important time is to me. I don't
Right.
want to waste mine, so that means I'm not gonna waste yours. So I'm
Right.
always upfront about my intentions. I keep everything pure and genuine. Man, time is real, man. You don't get that shit back.
That's it. And so a lot of people know it's like I was like the most expensive thing is time.
Hell yeah,
You know what
man.
I'm saying? I've had my share of sitting in jails and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
being in there 3 months at a time, but it gives you time to really sit with who you are, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, and understand what clarity is and just saying, all right, cool. I can either make a change in my life or we're gonna stay in the same path and we're gonna be really in a hard position. You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
I never wanted to be that stereotype where people be like, you're gonna be just like your daddy.
Right.
Or either prison or dead.
Mm-hmm.
And so I proved to myself that I would never be that stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I'm 38, turned 38 on Friday. So
That's
it's
right, man.
like
Happy late birthday. I
I
did see you
appreciate you.
post that, man. My bad, bro. I should have
Nah, you
been on
good,
her an
bro.
hour and a half, and I ain't said happy birthday. My bad, bro.
Nah, you good, my dude. So I mean, even still, it's like being 38, I never thought I would be a free man doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Because in this society, when you grow up in society, it's always either we're taught either you're gonna go to school, you're gonna go play football,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna go join the military,
Right.
or you're gonna be dead.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So my mindset was, where I grew up, we didn't grow up with much, but
Right.
I watched my parents hustle to go get it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? My mom cleaned apartments. My dad worked at these, half-end jobs where he was trying to make a way. And, for me, it's like being this actor, I want to be able to change the narrative for my family. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I watched my parents struggle my whole life.
Yeah.
My whole life. Whether they want to, I know their pride will never let them admit that they were going through it, but
Yeah.
you see it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Kids see that stuff. And for me, it was like, I got to be able to be that difference. And you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And give it back to them because my parents deserve it. You know,
Hell
they
yeah,
tolerated
bro.
a lot of my shit, bro. So it's like, we got to be able to take care of our people. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Like,
no,
no,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
tell you, bro. Like I totally understand, man. Because when I say I fit every black stereotype you could think of, I'm talking
Mhm.
raised by a single mother, grew up in the projects, participated in gangbanging. Like I was a Skyline Pyru like for the majority of my life.
Right.
Sold dope, shot niggas. I caught my first attempted murder case as a teenager.
Damn.
Been to both the state and the feds. Had
Right.
2 kids outside of a marriage. Like I got custody of both of mine. I'm a single father, but I fit like every fucking stereotype you could think of. And even with all of that, bro, I still was able to turn my life around. I still was able to make a nice income as a productive citizen. My
Right.
son's 17, you know what I'm saying? He getting ready to graduate high school next year. And when I say this kid is the polar opposite of me, because I was able to take him out of the environment that I grew up
Right.
in
Right.
and give him a better life, man. I'm talking honor roll student, got a job. I'm talking state ranked wrestler, man,
Yeah.
on his way to college. Like everything that I wish I could have been, I was
Right.
able to make sure. So I understand what you're saying, bro. Evolving, bro, evolution, man, and
Yeah.
growing up, becoming a better person, and taking care of your peoples, man. That's what
Not
matters, man.
even and breaking those generational curses because
Yeah.
our kids will manifest those things that we've done, and we spill
Mm-hmm.
them over to them. But you did what you had to do by moving them away from that environment just so they
Yeah.
could be that. And for me, it's like I didn't grow up with the encouraging words. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
didn't grow up with the uplifting spirit. So with my boys, I try to do that for them. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
I try to get them everything I didn't have. And that's just what we did. And so a lot of the scenes in Southside Hero was a little bit personal for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like the scene where I was sitting on the couch with the gun in my hand. That was
Yeah.
personal. And you could kind of see it in my face because I
Yeah.
looked like I was tired. That was method act. That was all method, bro. Like a lot of
Mm.
those scenes where I looked distraught and frustrated, I
You
was
really got to
going.
go to that place.
Well, no, bro, it was real life for me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I my son was taken from me and sent to Germany for 4 years. And he was 2 when he left.
Damn.
So he was like, bro, from the day he was born till he was 2 years old, I was there every day. So you know what I mean? To have that happen and then get into this movie role, I was like, yeah, a lot of this is personal.
Damn.
Because I've been searching to get my kid back. So this
Yeah.
is. You know what I'm saying? So I can dive into this role more on a personal level than trying to give you this street nigga that I know I can't give you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like,
No,
if I
bro,
know
I
I
know
can't,
how you feel, bro. I fought for my son in the custody battle for a year and a half, bro. Damn near destroyed me.
right? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So a lot of that, and then in this movie, I felt like men that are dealing with issues with their kids and baby mamas and stuff like that, they gonna sense that from me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the dudes that I see when I'm in Walmart and stuff like that, the mall, it don't even matter. People like, bro, yeah, the gym, people in the gym, they're like, bro, I love your movie, bro. You did your thing, and you
Mm-hmm.
spoke to a lot of us, bro. And I was just
Yeah.
like, cool. So now what I'm gonna end up doing, Father's Day, I'm gonna try to rent out one of the movie studios
Mm.
or a movie theater and show Southside Hero as a movie premiere on Father's Day.
No, I got an invite.
Of course, you
Come
got
on
to
now,
invite, bro. Come
baby.
on, man. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I think as fathers, they can bring their kids to come and watch this movie and
Yeah.
just spend time with their kids and show them, look, this is what we go through that y'all don't even see half of the time. It may not be to
Exactly.
this extreme, but the minute we
Right.
leave this house, we hustling for y'all too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to be able, and that's what I always wanted to portray. That's not always, but that's what I portray in my everyday life, and that's what I want to portray in the movie.
Yeah.
And I think I delivered that aspect.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Like, man, I'm telling you, bro, it was like that's why I said, man, I wish you could have seen like the last 30 minutes of it, bro, because it was
Oh,
some.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I get it to you because I'm telling. I highlighted with all the credit. I'm always gonna criticize. Like this is the reason why I came up with this platform because me and my partner Jerry, man, he used to be my co-host, but he started getting into tattooing. We still cool to this day, but man, we did like I've been a fan of independent films since I'm about it. You know what I'm saying? Like the late 90s. I'm talking the baller blocking days, Lord Terrence. I've always loved independent films. You feel what I'm saying? And man, we always talk about it, but as a creator myself, I do understand, you know, the effort that it goes into the movies, even if we feel like that they're lackluster or they're not such and such. I understand the mind of a creator. So I still give flowers. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it was some spots in that joint, man. That's why I said I never criticized your acting. It was only a few parts. Like when you was in that room, okay, I'm gonna tell you specifically. When you was in the hotel room and you grabbed Buddy by the neck and you was yanking, I was like, I said I'll try to fight this nigga, but this nigga strong in the motherfucker. I talked all that shit earlier. This nigga strong as shit.
You know what? That scene. Shout out to Yusuf.
I like him too. Yeah.
A lot of people don't know Yusuf's on BMF.
Oh, really?
So yeah, he's on BMF. He's one of the regulars on BMF. So when they told us Yusuf was coming, I was like, oh, this is dope. You know, we got some dope ass people. LeVar Walker.
Yeah.
He's funny as shit. He had me messed up on set a lot of the time.
That was the older
Mr.
guy,
Haywood.
right?
Mr. Haywood.
Boy,
Mr.
that
Haywood.
nigga hilarious, man.
Bro, like even if he like some scenes where he wasn't remembering lines, he would just say some random outlandish ad libbing stuff, and I was just like, bro, you can't do this while I'm trying to lock into my character, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm already a fool, but to have somebody that's actually a comedian be on set, you know what I'm saying? It's funny. But Yusuf, I know he was sore after that scene, like, because I was yanking him. You know what I'm saying? Like
you threw the nigga this way, grabbed him, and then pulled him some more. I said, man, how much this nigga weigh? Like this nigga, he doing this shit with one arm. Like, hold up. But at the same time, I was like, you Ace Crown, bro. You the OG from back in the day. This nigga just told you, I just sold your daughter into sex slavery.
Right.
Talk.
Man, I sold her, bro.
What?
I sold her, bro, man. I sold her.
You what?
You supposed to whoop his ass until you supposed to blacked out on his ass and beat him bloody.
You know, I thought the same thing, but Nina had a different vision for it.
Man, fuck that. Nina should have called me. Look, you was supposed to beat him bloody, right? You weren't supposed to kill him yet. You supposed to beat him bloody until you got tired and your hand got swole. Sat down in the chair, told Jake to wake his ass up, hit him with a bucket of water. When you wake up, all right, what the fuck happened? I sold your daughter into sex slavery. Who you selling to? Guns. Boom. Let's go get her. What he alive for? There's no reason for this nigga to be alive.
Right. That's true facts. Like, I felt like that would have just been hella aggressive super quickly.
It's supposed to be.
I mean, I'm with the foolishness now. Don't get me wrong.
Ace Crown, bro. You supposed to dome this nigga, bro. After he gave you everything you needed. You say you sold my daughter into. You sold my boom. Let's get the fuck. You supposed to be in real life, bro. If a nigga told you they just sold your daughter into sex slave, you killing them.
I'm on him.
He gonna die.
It's a wrap. He gotta die. Ain't no more conversation, bro. I gotta go ahead and do you in,
bro. It ain't we have nothing else to talk about. Your
fact,
days of walking this earth have just ended.
I'm gonna just waterboard you until I figure out what I need to know.
Come on, man.
Where you going? What you doing? Where you been? Where does guns live now?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
once you get everything you know, man, you finna put a Desert Eagle to. He had the big gold one. Put the Desert Eagle to this nigga temple and pulled him up.
Yeah. I mean, but you know, for the most part, I feel like it reached where it needed to.
The point did get across.
It got across. I would have wanted more, but you know, we gave it what we could. But number 2 is gonna be a little bit more extra.
I'm gonna tell you something now. If number 2 come around and Ace Crown got another conflict and he don't kill somebody, I'll be back. I got something to say. Look, that movie was an hour and a half, and he didn't kill nobody. And I was like, why is everybody alive? This nigga done let everybody live.
Bro, look, so I felt like I met my Rebel Ridge moment. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Rebel Ridge did the same thing to me. You know what I'm saying? I watched it. I was like, he ain't kill nobody.
Come on, man.
Like he ain't gonna. Okay, they killed his cousin. He ain't killed nobody.
Man, ain't no way, bro.
You got a point, but I mean, hey, but the second one, we gon' you know, the conversation's been they gonna invest more. We're gonna invest more into the budget of stunts because I was the stunt coordinator for this one.
I got you.
It was amazing, bro, just to have that experience and be able to put that on my credits.
Yeah, dope movie, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Nina Stacks, I have watched Fatal Lust, Plugged, Southside Hero, 3, and maybe another one I just can't think of at the moment. But I've watched a number of her movies. She's never, in my opinion, she's never made a bad movie. No. She's made some movies where she left a little on the table where it could have been enhanced, but as far as a bad movie, she's never made a bad movie in my opinion.
Now, when you watch 12 Days of Christmas, then do a review on that one.
Goddamn right I am. I'm finna watch it tonight.
Bro, when I tell you, like, yeah, the energy I brought to that one was just like, so Mikhail played for Officer Whitaker.
Okay.
So he helped. Me and him are in 12 Days of Christmas too.
Cool.
So we collabed a lot. I got our thought process together on the character. You know, Mikhail's my boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude,
I like him, man.
Great friend, and I mean, an amazing actor, bro. Like, he gives you Law and Order. And I looked at him, I was like, bro, you old Law and Order nigga, bro. Like, I was like, they need to get you on there because you give that energy. You know what I'm saying? That needs to be given as the cop. But in 12 Days, he gives you a completely different, you know, energy. He's supposed to be the simp of the movie. You know what I mean? So, and I'm the, you know, alpha male, A type nigga, you know, doing what I want to do because I can.
Better be, nigga. You got 23s. God damn it.
So yeah, and that one, it was it's a little different. You know, it was a role that I tapped into. People were like, man, you played that role too well, man. You did it too good, bro. I'm gonna start thinking you like that, nigga. Like,
come on now.
So yeah, man. But you know, it's always a pleasure to work, you know, with any director that I've worked with. It was always been an honor. But now we're getting ready for another movie. I'm working with another production team called Focus Films, and we're about to do a movie called Strokes. Now, Strokes is going to kind of give you the feel of Love Jones, but not really, or Romeo and Juliet.
I got you,
so to speak, but more so on the, you know, black romantic side. You know, it's going to be a dope experience because again, I'm tapping into a different role. It's not the, you know, aggressive, you know, I gotta beat everybody up.
Yeah.
Right. So now I get to be able to show some type of sex appeal, charisma, and show a softer side, you know, just to be that sex symbol, so to speak. So, you know, I'm excited to get ready to do this movie.
I am curious about something, man. I do got a couple questions before we get ready to jump ship.
Yes, sir.
What is your ultimate, like, what would be the most optimal role for you to play? Like, what's your ideal role? Would you be a superhero, a lawyer, a mob boss, a villain? Like,
you know, all right, so I'm gonna give you my top 2.
Okay,
my number 1, like, I'm a Greek mythology type dude, bro. I love Greek mythology. So like a lot of my people, a lot of my friends call me Adonis all the time. They were like, bro, you like a Greek god, bro. But Troy, like, is my number 1 movie. Like, if I could be a demigod or some mythological god that has like Poseidon. Like, we've never really seen Poseidon like that. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen Hades, we've seen Zeus, we've seen Apollo,
Hercules,
but we've seen Achilles, but Poseidon every now and then, like, nah, you
Every
know what I'm
blue,
saying?
yeah.
Like, so, like, if I had a role, I would want to play a little Greek mythology role for, you know what I'm saying, to like really
Yeah.
dive that shit, because like, or like a role like 300, like,
Oh, like ooh.
like, yeah,
What about
like,
the what you think about the accent though? What you gonna get a coach? Like what you
oh
thinking?
yeah, I'm gonna get me a coach if I got to do accents, bro. Don't like, I'll dive. You know
Because
what
you
I'm
gotta think. say you go into like Greek mythology, or
saying?
even if you went into like the African like spiritualities, like if you like Ra or
Hmm.
Haru, you know what I'm saying, like
Right.
or like the Sumerian gods, like
Hmm.
Enki, you know what I'm
Right.
saying, like. You gotta get like that Mediterranean or that Greek Roman
Yeah.
accent, like.
You know, I think when Denzel did Gladiator
Don't tell me
2,
I ain't seen it yet. I'm pissed off because I ain't seen it. But you can tell me, did he have an accent though?
no.
He didn't? Oh, well shit, never mind then. Hell. Okay.
No, because he was more believable as he was.
Mm-hmm.
If you would have gave him an accent, you'd be like, he trying too hard.
Ah, damn. Okay.
Trying too hard. Like I was like, I believe this one though. Like,
Right.
but like for me, I would have to get an acting coach for like just the range of accents, because like I can do some, but like we're talking like Greek, a dialect. And I'm
Yeah.
perfectly fine with that. You know what I'm saying? Now my number two, I would villain it up. Like I would have to be a villain, bro. Like I want to do, and I don't want to do the typical crime mob boss. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be that guy. What? With
Yeah,
Will
yeah.
Smith with Deadshot,
Mm-hmm.
I would take the role that he had and tell them to give me a Deadshot movie. Just
Mm.
because Deadshot was so ruthless, they didn't portray it. They
Bruh,
didn't
I
portray it.
said that from day one. They didn't do Deadshot justice, bro. Will Smith did a good job. He did a
Yeah.
good job. But they didn't do enough for him in that movie though, man.
I was like, Deadshot would have shot Waller ass. Like, there would have been no conversation. Like, what y'all
He
talking about?
was
Like, Flag, you talking about Flag, Sergeant Flag? Rick Flag? He would have been shot. They gave him a
They'd
loaded
have popped
pistol.
it just to see if the gun worked.
Like, oh, it is loaded. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like,
Right.
nah. Just like I would have asked to be Black Adam. Love Dwayne,
But
but
yeah.
Black Adam didn't do Dwayne didn't do Black Adam justice. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of
It could have been
roles.
better.
Could have been better, because what people that don't really watch comic books realize, Black Adam was not an anti-hero. So him helping the Justice League would have never been a thing. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like Black Adam, I'm a nerd. I got a whole comic book set up.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So my thing is like Black Adam was beefing with Superman.
Yeah, they was supposed to run a Black Adam vs Superman movie. Yeah.
Man, so let me tell you, James Gunn pulled Henry Cavill right after that scene.
And why?
Let him go. Dropped him from the
And this,
Superman.
and this is why DC ain't worth a damn, bro.
You take
After y'all found Christian Bale, bro, there isn't no more Batmans. He is Batman.
He is Batman.
Where the fuck Ben Affleck come from? This is why
So,
Marvel kicks y'all ass, DC.
and that's what I noticed. Like that was one of the things I was like, maybe they trying to spin it like it's a different multiverse, but I was like, nah, you can't,
Nah, bro.
because we went from Batman to Justice League.
Where was the Flash movie? Then, first of all, everybody know Flash is a fucking pompous asshole. Why
That's
did
it.
y'all make him a sucker in Justice League?
That and a child.
And a fucking key. Like, what the fuck? What are we doing?
Barry was not a freaking child. Like, and he was kind of like a Spider-Man, but on feet.
Yeah. Y'all would have been better off getting the Flash off of the CW.
That part.
Like,
That part. Yeah. And a lot of it, for me, is like we want to keep seeing that nostalgic action, the nostalgic, energy from characters that we know are built. But my thing is we keep recasting the same people. It's time to pull up some new talent, man. That's just really what it comes down to.
I think they should pull in new talent with new characters, though.
That part.
Because Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. Who the fuck? Like, I don't see nobody else as Iron Man, but him. But they're like this is a thing, man. You can dive, and I'm pretty sure Marvel and DC know this. Like, even with Black Panther, like there was so much more to Black Panther that wasn't shown on the movie. Like, dude was literally the king of the dead. Like, he could rise the dead up out the ground, and that wasn't even portrayed. Like, there's so much that they could dive into and introduce the characters and stuff. And I'm just like, it can't be man. I don't give a fuck, man. Everybody keep talking about this budget thing. No, I ain't convinced. You bitches got billions of dollars. I'll watch y'all throw $100 million at a movie. Nah.
Just like in She-Hulk. At the end, and the last episode, they brought the Hulk brought his son in, Scar. In my head, I was like, if they were gonna bring the female to use as a She-Hulk, I could have played the body of Scar.
Right.
I was like, that would have been more believable. You know what I'm saying? Versus the CGI version. You know what I mean? And in my head, I was thinking that's what I would have played, but nah. Money case, but I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? The doors got open and we gonna keep rolling. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, goddamn it.
Oh, and speaking of, so there's one more guy that I'm gonna shout out, Mike Copa. Now, if you ever watched Power Rangers, he was one of the Blue Rangers on one of the Power Rangers seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a director now. So if you ever get on Instagram, look him up, Michael Copa.
Michael Copa.
Yeah, he was the Blue Ranger, and he was also he's good friends with Tommy, the one that passed, Jason, that died recently, the Green Ranger.
The White Ranger, or the Red Ranger?
The white and green, yeah, the white and green.
Okay, the white
Ranger.
one, yeah.
He passed suicide. Damn. So, you know, mental health is a thing. I always try to tell people, if you got somebody that you can reach out to, check on them. Mental health checks is a thing. Man. But I remember one day I was filming Xavier. And we were sitting there talking. He ain't never met me. I walk in. He was like, yo, you a big dude. And he was like, man, you know what's... So we're talking. He was like, yo. He looked at me. He was like, did you know She-Hulk was played by a dude? And I was like...
I've always wanted to be in one of those type of situations.
So I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, man, like this big ass dude, like, yo, I ain't never seen it before, but he looked real. He was like, I was like, for real? He was like, yeah, man, let me find
How long you let this play out?
I let this play out for like 10 minutes, bro. I was like, yeah. I was like, man, I was like, pull the video up. Let me see. He was like, yeah, man. I was like, so I got on my TikTok and I was like, you talking about this video? He goes, yeah, man. And he was like, oh, dude, like, what?
Oh man, that's dope, man.
Calls his wife because she was a fan of the show. Calls his wife, was like, yo, I got the She-Hulk right here. And she was like, what? He was like, the body of the She-Hulk, the dude that played the She-Hulk. She was like, no, you don't. He was like, yes, I do. Pulls his wife up on FaceTime. And she was like, oh my God. And I was like, yeah. So that was like the funniest, like, realization for people. Like, matter of fact, one of my clients, he trained with me for like a year and a half. I done been finished filming She-Hulk. So we're training. Some people were coming in, was like, oh my God, congratulations. We watched you on TV. You was dope. My client looking at me like, what are they talking about, dude? And I was like, they were like, She-Hulk. He's She-Hulk. And he was like, what? And then he goes, I heard about something like that. He was like, man, She-Hulk played by a dude. That ain't you. And I looked at him and I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, man, pulls up Instagram. He was like, She-Hulk is played by a dude. I said, I sent you that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's me. He was like, bro, what?
Damn.
He was like, yo, are you under an NDA? I said, nah. He was like, bro, I've been training with you this long and had no idea. I said, I'm never gonna say nothing about what I'm working on. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to see it. You know, unless you're close to me, bro. Unless you're in my inner circle, you don't really know too much about what's going on. Like, I let people assume a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he doing that, and the third. What you see on social media, nah.
There's a whole lot going on, goddamn it.
Nah, it's a whole lot more than that. We just don't post it. You know what I mean? So, you know, a lot of the times, you know, what I try to give people is a piece of who I am. You know, that's what social media is for. It's just for fun. You know, you'll get some of my personality, you'll get some of my goofiness, but it's never personal. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, what I post is something I feel it's funny, you know what I'm saying, or feel it's fun, or I post motivational stuff to keep people inspired and keep people going. You know, so you know, when people come to me and being like, "Man, I wish I could do what you do," you can,
Can.
you can. You just got to get up and believe that you can.
Yeah.
So you know, for me, you know, tomorrow comes and we just got to make the best of tomorrow.
Hell yeah. Let me man, my last question, man. I always ask people this, man, because I'm always curious to know about where people see themselves. Like,
Mhm.
what's your ultimate goal with everything? Do you want to be the best actor you can be? Do you eventually want to get into writing, producing your own movies, commercials, mainstream? Do you like the independent? Like, where do you see yourself ultimately in the end?
Ultimately, man, I see myself as a big box office seller, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if the indie film calls and they need my help, I'm always gonna be there for them because that's where
Mhm.
I started.
Right.
You know, I always tell people my first lead role was a speaking role with Nina Stacks. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And that'll be forever etched in history. It'll go down forever. You know, my first time being introduced on the, you know, Marvel Cinematic Wikipedia, you know, as the Savage She-Hulk. You know, I
Mhm.
never, you know, you know, I have a tendency of not giving myself flowers for the little bit of stuff that I've done so
I
far.
feel that.
You know what I mean? Like, my life is so all over the place and so many
Mhm.
things that I deal with. You know, I always look at it like, damn, stuff just keeps happening, but I never stop for a second and be like, you know what? I just did a movie. You know what? I was the body of She-Hulk. You know, I just won my pro card. You know, these are things that I don't give myself, you know, credit for it. And, you know,
Right.
hearing myself talk to you and do
Mhm.
interviews, I'm like, damn, I've done a lot. You know
A
what I'm saying?
gang of
Like,
shit. Hell yeah.
so, you know, for me in the next, you know, in the future, bro, you know, bodybuilding. And again, my response to everybody about bodybuilding, if it takes that route for me to end up going to the Olympia and being on that stage, then I'm a hit it head on and full steam.
Hell yeah.
Um, if my acting career takes off faster than my bodybuilding career, let's make it happen because honestly, I want to be on TV anyway.
Man, you know what, bro? I do gotta ask you something about bodybuilding.
Hmm?
I'm gonna give you mine, but I gotta ask you yours. Your favorite, not who you think the best bodybuilder of all time, because I think the greatest bodybuilder of all time was Ronnie Coleman. But
Sure.
my favorite bodybuilder of all time, I'm not for sure if you ever heard this dude, but there's a cat named Craig Munson.
Oh yeah,
Bro,
he was
that
slept on.
dude,
He was slept on.
that dude is fucking insane, bro.
Yeah.
Never won nothing.
No, and the problem was because here's what people got to understand about the IFBB Pro. You can be number one,
Mhm.
but if you're not giving back to the sport, they not gonna move you up. That was kind of like most of the situation with some of these like top level athletes, like Kai Green, never pushed forward. He could have won Olympia a couple of times,
I like High Green, yeah.
but because of his personality and because of the things that he spoke on or the way he moved, it just wasn't the way the sport seen it.
Mhm.
So, you know, we got to be able to be reminded that, you know, you can be who you are. It's kind of like the Colin Kaepernick situation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, you have a job to do. You know, if
Mhm.
you want to see yourself making that $50,000, $60,000 Olympia checks, $500,000 Olympian checks, sometimes you got to play the puppet, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Like, I'm okay with, you know, my coach calling me and being like, hey, man, you might want to take that down because it doesn't fit the brand.
Yeah.
Cool. Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to make it to that level of what, you know, what the league sees us as, and we're pro athletes. We're in
No,
the
I
top
totally
10%.
understand that. Mhm.
You know, we're in the top 10% of fitness. You know what I mean? So we have to lead by example. There's not many people in the world. If there's billions of people and there's only 10% of people that are fit, that's not enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So be the example, and I'm always gonna be that.
Mhm.
So, you know, for me, my all-time bodybuilder, and it's only because when I started, this is who I look to.
Sergio Levy, I already know it.
Nah, I was under Arnold Schwarzenegger, man.
I fuck with
You
Arnold.
know,
I ain't fucked up with Arnold.
yeah, yeah.
I fuck
So,
with
you
Arnold.
know, for me, because when I got into bodybuilding, I was like, you know what? Who's a big dude that was in the bodybuilding world over 6 foot?
Yeah.
And so it was Arnold at the time, and it was Lou Ferrigno.
Lou Ferrigno. He about 6'5", man. He about 6'5"
He's
too.
6'5", yes. So I modeled my workouts after Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was going through my bodybuilding career early on, that's who I would follow his entire program.
Mm.
And I remember one show we did measurements, and this is the show I won my overall and my placement, to the Natural Pro League.
Mm-hmm.
I was 240 pounds. No, I was 239, 235. I had a 23-inch arms, 26-inch waist, 35-inch legs. Like, that was everything Arnold Schwarzenegger had at the age of 28.
Man, he was a fucking action figure, guys.
Bro, like, I wanted, like, because my thing is when people go to talking shit, it just makes me work harder.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So when people are like, oh, you got beat last year by this dude, okay, cool.
I'll see y'all again.
I guarantee you to be the last time you see me behind you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's just really where it's been. Like, I've never really been behind the curve, you know what I mean, when it comes to sports, or just when it comes to being in a competitive mind state, because I'm just like, bruh, you ain't no different than me. The only difference is our mindset. If I'm not tapped in, locked in, changing the game, bro, then we wasting time. So, for me, like I always give back to the fitness world. There's a lot of people that I train, that come to me with, their sob stories, and I'm just like, bruh, what are we doing? What are we
We
gonna
all
do?
got one, bro.
We got
Let's
one.
get to it.
I got one. I tell everybody, you can't give me the excuse.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Unless you amputated the foot off and got 2 screws holding your foot on, I don't want to hear it.
Exactly,
You know
goddamn
what I'm
it.
saying? So, but I also break it down like this. It's like, if I can go film a movie, train for competition, train y'all, and still do everything I got to do, there is no excuse in this world where people be like, bruh, I just ain't got the time.
Yep.
Time is what you make it.
Oh,
And
man.
if you ain't making it worth nothing, bro, that's your life. You're gonna have to answer for it when God come back and talk to you. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? So,
I agree.
but yeah, man. So yeah.
Man, that's what's up, man. But look, man, bro, it has been an honor, bro, and a motherfucking privilege to sit here and dialogue with you, man, bro. You got a whole lot more substance than what I would have thought, man.
Yeah, man.
Hell of a story. You need to keep telling that story too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm
Yeah.
writing a book. I'm writing a book, and it's called Born Through. Wait, hold on. I'm about to pull it up. Hold on one second. Let me see.
Yeah, you go ahead.
My rise through through the ruins.
Okay.
So I'm working on a book. It's my life story. It's just pretty much telling people, and it does highlight childhood trauma. Because it's in reality nobody, as a Black community, we don't talk about our traumas too
We try
much.
to act like it don't exist.
Try to act like it don't exist. We try to act like it never happened.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, the only way you can progress and evolve is by speaking on it. You know what I mean? So
Gotta
writing
acknowledge
my
that it's
book,
there. Yeah.
gotta acknowledge it. That's the only way you heal.
Mm-hmm.
So I started writing my book. 5 chapters in so far. I've had some people rough read it.
Mm-hmm.
So far the feedback has been pretty spot on. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
I'm gonna finish it before the year is over.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal is to try to publish by December.
Man, let me know
So
when that's going out, man. I'm gonna snatch a copy of that, man. I
yeah.
love learning people's stories, man. That's another reason why this platform. I love learning people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And and again, I'm gonna have a audible version, and I'm gonna have a hard copy. So,
Okay.
I always put it like this, man. We all have a story. It's just about what we do with it.
Facts. That's a fact.
Just about what we do with it. So, if your goal is to do what I do, get up, make it happen, bro. Like, I tell my clients, they be like, man, I just don't want to do it today. And then that's when you need to get up. Because that's the day something else will break for you.
Man, bro. Look, when I was the strongest, my best, I don't know what my body fat was, but I was in really good shape. And my strongest may have been like, let me see, I think my bench was like 4 plates. My squat was close to 5, and my deadlift was close to 6. It was like 580 something. My squat was like 495 something. Like, I was strong, you know what I'm saying? And man, I'm gonna tell you, man, the reason why I got to that level, because I was scrawny growing up. Like, I'm talking, when I say when I went to the military, this is gonna fuck you up, because I don't know if you see my videos or pictures, but I got some size now. When I went to the military at 18, I was 6'2", 134 pounds. I was almost too small to get in. I was
Yeah.
1 pound at the limit to you too small.
Just the too small.
Yeah, it's crazy. But
Right.
I got to that size, bro, and I got that strong because of what you just said, bro. It was days where I'll wake up and be like, I can miss a day at the gym. I've been consistent for the past 90 days. I can miss a day. And I'm
Right.
like, nope, I can't.
Yeah.
I got that. That's the day you gotta go. Like when you don't, it's easy to go when you motivated.
Right.
You know, after pre-workout, you know, you did your straight. It's easy to go
It's
then.
easy then. Yeah.
Boy, but when
Because
you don't feel like it, and it's just you ain't motivated. Your past 2 workouts wasn't hitting on nothing, and man, that's the day you gotta go. I agree,
that's
bro.
the day. That's the day because that's where you beat everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, my clients be like, bro, when do you sleep? I'm like, I'll sleep more when I'm dead. But right now I got something to get to. You know what I'm saying? Like my I wake up every morning 2:20 every morning. Like 2:20 a.m. I'm up out the door by 2:40, at the gym doing cardio by 3, 45 minutes, hit my workout, done by 5.
Oh no, you a bad motherfucker. So wait, hold on. You don't do post-workout, you do pre-workout cardio?
Yeah, I do. So I do fasted cardio. It helps metabolize your visceral fat, so your body, your midsection gets the activation that it needs, but it also helps aid digestion. So when you're going through, when you get up in the morning, you're doing your fasted cardio. By the time you get off of there, you'll be starving. So your metabolism like your metabolism should ignite right after you finish. At that moment, I go right into my workout. Because I'm at my visceral burning point. So I'll hit, whatever workout I got to do that morning. It may be chest or back, and then right after that I eat. So I have a pre-workout meal, ground turkey chicken. I mean, chicken ground or rice or ground turkey rice. Hit my workout. Then I eat post, and I'm out the door.
Damn. Okay.
So or some days I get up early, do my cardio, train my clients, work out, go home. You know what I'm saying? So it's just about the dedication to the sport. I'm invested in, when you put your body on the line, it's an investment.
Yeah.
When being in any industry, you got to invest into yourself and perfecting the craft. And, being that I'm on the pro level now, I could only get better.
Absolutely. I'm in and out of Atlanta, man. I'm about to come down there and catch you in the gym one day, man.
Hey, man, come see
you,
me, bro.
You don't, with you being a bodybuilder, that means you don't do much barbell work then.
Oh, I do. I get up under that thing, man. Come on,
Okay.
man. You know what I'm saying? I bang that iron, man.
Okay.
We worked on more of the controlled negatives. So like the most now I push is like 315 for like a solid 12.
Oh yeah, I don't go heavy no more. I'm old, man. I jump my elbow hurting and shouting, man. No.
Look, I look at the bar and I be like, my wrist. Like, damn, had I known better when I was younger, boy, I would have.
Bad for real.
I would have saved my joints, nigga. Just because I remember, back in the day, I would say we trained recklessly. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we just gonna bounce the weight off the chip.
Look, no form,
None.
just throwing the weight. Like,
then before you know it, you're looking like, damn, why my shoulders hurt?
Come
I
on,
went
man.
yesterday. So yeah, my thing is now I'm all about volume and what feels right. You know what I'm saying? So
proper technique and all that. Yeah.
And my coach my coach says it to me all the time. We're bodybuilders, not power lifters.
Every fucking bodybuilder I ever talked to say that. I'm gonna tell you what bodybuilders say to me, though. I fucking hate them. Bodybuilders always say, "I'm not a weightlifter. I'm a muscle contractor." Shut your ass up, nigga. You lifting weights too, nigga. I fucking hate them niggas, man.
And that was it. I always try to tell people, bodybuilding is considered a vain sport. It's very selfish. You will see, some people get full of themselves and get confused and lost in the game. But you have to know who you are in this sport. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know who you are, and that's what makes me, that's what sets me apart from everybody else. That's what I feel. I don't know most of the pros that are competing or whatever, but I know me. And I just feel like I know I bring something different to the game, and it's just you're gonna have to outshine me. You know what I'm saying? I'm an entertainer, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like this is you put me on stage and tell me that I gotta get them to cheer. Let's make it happen.
Best pose, man. Front double bicep. What's your best pose, man?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I like the rear. I'm more of a rear double bicep type of guy, man. You know,
got some wide ass lats then,
bro. Like my best feature is my back. Like
okay.
My quads, and I was at a posing clinic yesterday. That's why I missed yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But when you turn pro, they have you come to these expos and events, and you got to come and speak to new up and coming athletes. You got to kind of get back to the sport.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to pose off in front of some judges that are on the top level, Olympian level judges, and they was looking at me. And one guy walked up, and he was like, "Bro, for you to be as big as tall as you are, you got some fucking legs, bro."
That's hard. That's what I said, bro. It's hard to do when you tall, man. That's why a lot of them bodybuilders be 5'7", man.
You're right,
it's hard to get that volume when you that tall.
And he was like, yo, only feedback he gave me was hit your center chest, bring that up. Ain't nobody gonna mess with you, bro. So getting that type of feedback it ignited me yesterday. Right after I left this morning, we went in and we dogged the center chest like something like it wasn't nothing, you know what I mean? So tomorrow I'm gonna do it again, because what I always tell people is when you're lacking areas weak, you hit it back to back and then you give it 2-3 days off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Allow that muscle to get that engagement, feel that soreness, break it down.
Mm-hmm.
My coach, I remember one week we did back like 4 days in a row, and I was looking at him like, we doing back again? Like, come on again. Like, I'm about to start crying, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Like, come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, fine. So, for me, it's like, you kind of gotta be something. You gotta turn into a different animal, bro. Like, I always make the joke.
You do like a 3-on-1 off? Because I heard C-Bomb talk about that. Like, his thing is 3-on-1 off.
Yeah, so I train 3 days on, 1 off, and then I rotate my days. So like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Thursday, I'm off. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'm off. And just because, and it allows your joints to recover.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have, I have to remember I have to train differently now because I've had multiple injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, 2 years ago, 2023, I was in a car accident. Heading to go sign autographs for She-Hulk. So when the car flipped over, you know what I'm saying?
So I'm fucking break.
Can't catch a break, bro. So I get out the car, and this is the craziest story. I get out the car, I'm like less than a mile from the airport. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right. I helped the driver out of the car, and I'm sitting there, but I'm in shock. My mind still remembered to get an Uber, get in the Uber, go to the airport, get on the plane, fly to Fort Lauderdale. And I'm sitting there like
fresh out of a car accident.
My sister called. She's like, where you at? I was like, I'm in Florida. She was like, why? You was just in a car accident. And I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just now coming out of this shock, and I'm just like, oh, snap, I was in a car accident. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute, what happened? So then when I got back, I found out that I had 4 herniated discs, 4 bulging discs. And all of this was me still during the time of me trying to get ready for nationals. So I was already in the mindset, damn, like, not again, bro. Like, not again. So when
that book gonna be a bad motherfucker.
I'm telling you, dude. So it's a trial through the ruins, bro. It's just always just gotta make it through every ruin that you got, because it's just rubble, bro. It's just rubble.
Mm-hmm.
Either you can climb over that shit, or you can let it stop your path, bro. And I'm just gonna keep climbing.
I feel you, bro. That's real.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, bro, listen, bro, you a hell of a dude, man. I'm telling you, bro, I'm looking forward to seeing everything that you got coming up. I'm a fan, bro. I appreciate you, man, sitting down, dialoguing with me. I've learned a lot. Oh, and you coming back. Like, we got more to talk about down the line. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do this, man. We go, hey, anytime you need me, man, I'm here, bro. We can always rap.
Man, I appreciate that, bro.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up, man. Well, man, look. Until next time, man, I wish you nothing but the best, bro, man. Blessings to you, man.
Yes, sir.
Hell of a dude. Appreciate everybody for rocking with the Let's Talk Indie podcast. And yeah, man, Devon Lewis, man, we're gonna catch y'all in the next one, man.
Yes, sir.